Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. A very good evening and welcome to Carabao Cup live here on LFS this Tuesday evening as we begin round 2 of the competition. And after the first round there was a lot of dramatic ties and a lot of penalty shootouts. Of course, that is the rules in the Carabao Cup now. All games, if they are level after 90 minutes, will head to a penalty shootout. No extra time, which I for one I'm very happy with. Tonight we have 19 ties to settle all throughout this evening. Some already underway, but our feature game kicks off at 8 o'clock this evening as Sheffield Wednesday, who've had a torrid summer and a torrid start to the season in League One. They host Leeds United of the Premier League tonight, and we'll see how Daniel Farke's side look after their thrashing of Arsenal over the weekend. We'll see how that performs. Let's have a quick look at what the ties that we've selected this evening. So we're going to cover all 19 ties, but we have selected a few to put on the screen for you. These are 10 selected ties for tonight's game, starting with an All Premier League tie at Molineux that is currently underway. They kicked off at 7:30 this evening at Molineux between Wolverhampton Wanderers and West Ham. Also elsewhere, Championship Birmingham take on Port Vale of League One at St Andrews. An all Premier League tie at the Vitality, as well as Bournemouth take on Brentford. Derby of the Championship head to Premier League Burnley there at Turf Moor. Millwall and Coventry in an all Championship tie there at the Den. Same at Norwich as well, an all Championship tie, and at Preston as well, as they both face Southampton and Wrexham respectively. Sunderland of the Premier League host League One Huddersfield. League One Plymouth head away to Swansea, and of course our feature game Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United. Those other ties that I haven't so far mentioned, there's a few that kicked off a lot earlier this evening. It was a 7 o'clock kickoff between Reading and AFC Wimbledon. It is 1-1 between those two teams at half time. Reading took the lead inside 24 minutes through Fraser, but Bougiel scored just 2 minutes later to level for AFC Wimbledon. It is 1-1, and Cambridge United lead early in that one against Charlton Athletic. Brophy with the goal. That was a 7:30 kickoff. Also, all of those games, bar the Wolves West Ham game that we're covering in our selected fixtures, are all 7:45 kickoffs, so they will be a little earlier than, of course, what we are showing you tonight. But those other games kicking off: Accrington against Doncaster, still goalless. Barnsley hosts Rotherham, that is also still goalless. We just had a goal at Bromley taking on Wickham this evening. Wickham have just taken the lead in that 7:45 kickoff. Burton take on Lincoln. Cardiff host Cheltenham in that one, and as well as you know, the 8 o'clock kickoff between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds. That is the 19 ties that we have for you this evening. We'll keep you right up to date with what happens from around the grounds, but there's already some early goal action I can tell you about. We'll start at Turf Moor, where there has been a goal, and it is the home side to take the lead there. Premier League Burnley, after that massive win over Sunderland at the weekend, a big win for them, getting their first Premier League points of the season after being promoted. Aaron Ramsey has given them the lead inside 5 minutes. Armando Broja setting that one up, and Championship Derby already behind against Burnley in the early moments. Also a goal at Deepdale as well, between Preston North End and Wrexham, to tell you about. Now, this is an intriguing tie this evening because, of course, we know where Wrexham are and their Hollywood owners and all of that type of stuff, and how their run went in the Carabao Cup last year, but they are not starting pretty well. It is Preston that have taken the lead in that one. Lewis Dobbin with the goal has given Preston North End an early lead there at Deepdale. Right, we will keep you right up to date with all of the goals as they happen from around the grounds this evening, and of course our 8 o'clock kickoff between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United. That is an 8 o'clock kickoff, so we are about 7 minutes away from kickoff there. But before we get to that tonight, of course, the second round is a total round, of course, 24 ties to bring you right across the evenings, and really, we're really looking forward to this one tonight. But tomorrow night, Manchester United, for the first time in a long time, are in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Now, the Carabao Cup does have a second round, have Premier League teams, but Premier League teams that aren't competing in Europe this season, they enter in the second round. So that's why the likes of Wolves, West Ham, Bournemouth, Brentford, Burnley, etc., etc. are all in it. But Man United, not a name you usually hear in the second round of the Carabao Cup. They head to Grimsby Town tomorrow night at Blundell Park, and we'll have watch-along commentary at that one. That's tomorrow at 8 o'clock, along with other ties as well taking place tomorrow night, which we can tell you, by the way, about those ties for tomorrow night before we bring you some team news tonight from Hillsborough. Let's get those other ties. Everton host Mansfield, of course, with a great start in the new stadium over the weekends. They host Mansfield tomorrow night. Oxford host Premier League Brighton. Fulham host Bristol City. And, of course, Grimsby hosting Manchester United. Those are the 4 ties that take place tomorrow evening. We have some information from the Den, by the way, to tell you about. That was a 7:45 kickoff, but they haven't kicked off yet there in London. Millwall against Coventry. There has been some sort of delay. We're not sure what that is at the minute, but there has been a delay to kick off in that game, so it is not got underway just yet. We'll let you know when that changes. Right, so we have a goal at the moment coming from the Stadium of Light. We can tell you about Sunderland of the Premier League after their defeat to Burnley at the weekend, but their first home game of the Premier League season was a win over West Ham United. But League One Huddersfield have taken the lead in that one, and it is Leo Castledine that has given them the lead. So it is Sunderland 0, League One Huddersfield 1. And of course, what we love about the Cup is these upsets that we seem to get in the competition, and tonight we're already off the mark with some interesting scorelines from around the grounds. But of course, as you know, our main focus this evening is Sheffield Wednesday taking on Leeds United. Kickoff is about 5 minutes away. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for team news in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Carabao Cup Live for the second round action this evening. It is Sheffield Wednesday taking on Leeds United. It's the Championship side taking on the Premier League side. And of course, Premier League, Leeds United coming off the back of a 5-0 defeat away at Arsenal on Saturday evening. They come to Hillsborough tonight looking to progress in the Cup after they were knocked out in the first round last season, if you remember, against Middlesbrough. But let's see what they've got in store for us tonight, and let's show you the teams then for this one, starting with the home side, Sheffield Wednesday. Horvath starts in goal. They've gone for the back 3/back 5, Sequeira, Weaver, Otabayo, McGee and Johnson in defence. In midfield, Fasire, Thornton and Shipston are all in midfield with a front two of Brown and Lowe, who is the captain tonight. On the bench for Henrik Pedersen's side, Stretch, Evers, Emery, Palmer, Bannon, Barry Bannon of course, very famous figure with Sheffield Wednesday, Granger, Ugbo and McNeil. For Leeds United, a number of changes, mostly in defence for Daniel Farke's team tonight. Carl Darlow starts in goal, a back four, completely changed from the weekend. Sam Byram starts alongside Bijol, Bernal and Jack Harrison is in defence. Gruev continues in midfield, but with two different partners this time round. Longstaff is alongside him with Aronson, Okafor, Nemeka and Piru, the attackers. On the bench for Leeds United tonight, Perry, Rodon, Bogle, Goodmunson, Stack, Nonto, James, Calvert-Lewin, of course, the new signing, and Harry Gray. Of course, Archie Gray, who's at Tottenham, his brother. Both have come through Leeds. And, of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Will he get his Leeds United debut tonight? We will see. Right, we're all but ready to go. Here this evening, some updates from around the grounds to tell you about. They had another goal at Preston at Deepdale. Wrexham have equalised not long after Preston took the lead, and it's Ryan Hardy that has equalised for Wrexham. Cambridge have doubled their lead over Charlton. It's now 2-0 to Cambridge in that one. They've just scored that goal, so we'll tell you a bit more about it in a few minutes. And Bradford have taken a lead away at Stoke as well this evening. That is an interesting one there. Will Swan with the goal has given Bradford City the lead over Stoke City. Also tonight there is Champions League qualifier action in the playoff round. Kairat of Kazakhstan taking on Celtic, of course the Scottish champions. It is goalless. They're into extra time in the second leg. Goalless in both legs so far. So the whoever wins on the night wins the tie and goes through to the Champions League main phase. Paphos take on Red Star Belgrade and Sturm Graz host Bodo Glimt in their second leg ties. Right. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That'd be greatly appreciated. It's interesting to see Leeds United tonight. See how they perform. This is their second away game of the season, their first cup feeling. And of course there's been a big storyline around Sheffield Wednesday. We'll get through and into that right throughout the evening. Sheffield Wednesday in their home strip, blue and white, and Leeds in their third kit this evening of black, a black base with kind of like purpley yellow colours right the way through it. And we get off and running here this evening between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds. Two sides, of course, with a bit of a need of a bit of confidence, shall we say. But Sheffield Wednesday have had a torrid time, and we'll get to the full story on that in a few minutes. But for Leeds United, they want to get back to winning ways and back and through to the next round of the Cup, the third round of the Cup, which would be something of quite importance for them. But of course the league is as important as anything for Leeds United this season. We are officially underway, by the way, at the Den. There was a delay there, but they have kicked off. They're into the second minute of that game, and it's goalless between Millwall and Coventry City. Right, we'll keep you right up to date with all of the games that have underway this evening. It might be a bit chaotic at times because there is so much to get through, but the 19 ties we will try and keep you right up to date with as and when the goals happen. And Leeds starting with a bit of possession here. Where's Bijol down this right hand side? He works it back across to Bernal. Welcome in everybody watching in the chat. Mesa Life says, I feel for Sheffield Wednesday fans, their owner should sell the club. Yes, we'll certainly get into that. I have a bit of news to tell you about this game tonight as well. Hyrule says, I want to enter Wednesday Rich. Come on Sheffield. As a Galatasaray fan, my heart goes out to Sheffield. Yeah, 100%. And welcome in. We are Leeds as well. So this is the story that has been interesting today. The Sheffield Wednesday fans have boycotted this fixture. They are not in the stadium tonight. They are boycotting it in protest of their owner, Defjon Chansiri. Now, after a summer of unpaid wages, transfer embargoes and a partial stadium closure, the Owls are without a win across their opening 3 games in the Championship, placing them 1 spot above the relegation zone. Now, the Sheffield Wednesday Supporters Trust have now called upon the fans to boycott the fixture against Leeds, which I can tell you has happened. There is no Sheffield Wednesday fans here this evening in the stadium, which is a very, very strange situation, but they feel that they have to do this, and also the Supporters Trust has urged the fans to donate the money that they would be spending to come to this game to the Sheffield Children's Hospital instead. The statement that was put out by the Supporters Trust read, "Every ticket puts money into the hands of an owner who has shown nothing but contempt for the fan base and disregard for the long-term future of our club. We understand how painful it is to miss a fixture against a major rival, but sometimes sacrifice is needed for the bigger picture. Instead of giving money to a regime which has driven Sheffield Wednesday into crisis, we are asking supporters to consider giving the cost of their match ticket to charity. By doing so, we can turn what would have been a damaging act for our club into something positive for our community." That is the statement from the Sheffield Wednesday Supporters Trust, based on the fans not in attendance here this evening, as the fans have boycotted this fixture due to their ownership. Well, so far it's been a pretty, not much open play, shall we say. A couple of throw-ins, and that's really been the action in the first 3.5 minutes of this one here at Hillsborough tonight. And really, you gotta say, obviously Leeds United were coming into this one on paper as the favourites, but you never know, anything is possible. That's what the Carabao Cup, and that's what cup competitions as a whole are kind of all about. What makes it so intriguing is that you come to this game tonight, you think, oh yeah, on paper Leeds United should beat Sheffield Wednesday, and they've got much better quality in more than one area of the field, but then again, you never know what can happen. Yes, Mesa Life, yes, there are no Sheffield Wednesday fans, or if there are any, there are very, very, very few. Probably you could count them within two hands, if there are that many inside the stadium tonight. You gotta say, it is mostly, if not almost 100% Leeds United supporters. I think there might be more stewards than there is Sheffield Wednesday fans here tonight. That's the point I would make. Switch ball here for Leeds, brought down by Aronson. Now Byram, back to Brendan Aronson, who's got a bit of space here into the box. Aronson flicks it forward. Byram works it back into the box, and it's cleared away by Sheffield Wednesday. Want to break away here, and it was a chance there for George Brown to break through, but the referee saw there was no foul on him as he was dispossessed there around about the halfway line. And a clean challenge by the Leeds United defence. Our referee tonight, Rob Jones. And here come Leeds down the left-hand side. Longstaff. Nemecha. Back to Bijol, and now Bernal out wide to Sam Byram. Leeds having the lion's share of possession in the early moments. And Mesa Life says this is how you make the owners sell the club. Sometimes drastic action is required. That is true. Hit them where it hurts is the sentiment there, really. Hit them where they're going to feel it in terms of the ticket prices and the lack of sales of tickets, and a monetary difference to be made. And it was actually a really nice gesture that the Supporters Trust said, rather than spend your ticket money on going to the game and funding the owners, just give it to the community, give it to a children's hospital, which is really, really a really nice gesture, of course, for the whole situation. And part of the statement that really stood out to me was, rather than spend your money on something that's going to damage Sheffield Wednesday, use that money instead to improve the community. And that's a real lovely message coming from the Supporters Trust, and a message that the vast majority, if not all of their fans, have taken heed of and respected here this evening. Here's Ilya Gruyev to Bijol down the left-hand side. There's Harrison trying to go for the early cross. It's come back through to Brendan Aronson in the box, who tried to cut it back to the edge. It was just about clipped away by Sheffield Wednesday, who've been camped in and around their own box in the early moments. It's been a lot of Leeds possession, and the vast majority of it in the Isles final third in these early moments. Calvert-Lewin is on the bench here this evening, yes. So he is probably, at some point, probably going to get some minutes. As Sheffield Wednesday win the ball back here. Here's Lowe trying to break forward. There's Jamal Lowe. He now lays it down the right-hand side, and a good block there by Bijol, but it's going to be a corner to Sheffield Wednesday, I believe, here. It's nicely won down that right-hand side. Gone a little quiet on the goals front. We have a goal between Swansea City, by the way, and Plymouth Argyle. It's not been a great start to the season for Plymouth in League One, and it's not a good start to the night for them. Swansea have taken the lead in that one, and it is Zan Vipotnik who has given Swansea the lead there. Swansea City 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Corner to Sheffield Wednesday here. Right-hand side, left-footed delivery. It's high. It's round the back. It's cleared away by Leeds again, and now Metcha wants to get them forward. It was Aronson that clipped onto it. Couldn't keep it again there. Leeds given away by Gruev. It's worked its way back here for Sheffield Wednesday to the defenders at the back. As I said, a back 3 / back 5 for them tonight. That's nice little work down the left-hand side here from Johnson. Almost linking it up there with Thornton. Leeds in the final third, mopping up the mess that they almost created it all in and of their own on that occasion, as it's cleared long. Nice touch there by Metcha to bring it down and get Leeds on the move. Here's Harrison. He was well blocked there by Sequeira, and that's going to be a Leeds throw. Of course, a lot of the Leeds players tonight, all second string players or new players. Of course, Noah Okafor made his Premier League debut for the club at Arsenal on Saturday after signing just last week. And they've made some more signings earlier this afternoon as well, Leeds. So they're still looking busy in the transfer window, which closes on Monday, so 6 days to go left in the window, and Leeds still looking to produce some business and some players before that deadline closes. Barnsley are 1-0 down at home against Rotherham, by the way. Rotherham have taken the lead there. That's the only other goal that I haven't mentioned in that one, and that is Ajani Martha has given Rotherham the lead there against Barnsley. Still goalless between Kairat and Celtic in that Champions League game. They're into the 117th minute now of that game, and they are barely minutes left for either one of them to win it. It looks like that is destined for penalties, as Leeds make the switch ball here. Byram picks it up on the right side, cuts it back onto his left foot. Inside it goes to Piroux. Now back to Byram. Piroux again, dropping a little deeper. Some question marks over what position Joel Piroux would be playing tonight. Would he be playing in that 10 role, or would it be a centre forward? It looks like he's in the 10, and Metch has gone in at centre forward for Leeds tonight. It's Harrison with the right-footed delivery. Byram was the target at the back post. He's got it at the second time of asking, as he's tracked all the way here by Johnson. Nice little give and go between him and Brendan Aronson. Back to Sam Byram again, trying to create space. Leeds trying to pull Sheffield Wednesday out of their structure. At the moment, the Championship side holding strong. Harrison. Okafor. Back to Metcha. Skips past the challenge, and another, but it's taken off the ball as Gruev mops up again. And the early cross is taking a deflection, and that will go behind for a Leeds United corner. A little bit higher tempo there from Leeds. They moved it a lot quicker. Adama says, hello mate, thought Liverpool got out of jail last night. Far too open in my opinion, need to tighten up at the back. The high line didn't work last night. Yeah, 100%. They were very weak against Newcastle, but Liverpool got the winner, and of course Rio Ungamoa, the 16-year-old. I mean, unbelievable. I do apologise about last night. We had some more tactical issues, which, again, always seems to happen when the biggest games come around. Corner for Leeds, lifted into the box and cleared away there by Sheffield Wednesday defenders on that occasion. The vast majority of their players in the 6-yard box there did the home side. And they cleared it away from danger. Here's Noah Okafor trying to dribble his way down the left channel. Has to turn it back to Harrison. Trying to flick it in behind for Okafor to find space, but well shielded there by the Wednesday defence. See, the ball's still alive here. Okafor nicks it back. Wanted a foul there, the defender. Harrison with a cross. Up and away on that occasion by Weaver. Better from Leeds, keeping the pressure on, keep turning it over and moving the ball and keeping the Sheffield Wednesday defence on the move, which have been pretty solid so far of the home side defensively. Brendan Aronson couldn't skip past his man, but it will go out for a Leeds throw. 89% of the possession so far for Leeds. Neither side have had a shot. Leeds have had 6 touches in Sheffield Wednesday's box. Sheffield Wednesday haven't had a single attacking moment, and just 12% of the ball now in this game. So it has been all Leeds without any end product to show for it just yet. We have a goal in the All-Premier League game, but here come Leeds. Okafor's cross was cut back to the round about the penalty spot. It was Piru that was the target, and it was again well defended by Wednesday. But it was a good move down that left-hand side, and Okafor got into space for really the first time of the night when he burst down that left-hand side, got in behind the defence, and on that occasion the bodies in the area got Sheffield Wednesday out of trouble once again. As I was saying, a first goal in our All-Premier League tie, one of 2 All-Premier League ties tonight, and it's at Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers against West Ham, 2 sides who sit rock bottom of the Premier League table without a single point from their first 2 Premier League games. Wolves without a goal in the Premier League this season, but that has changed in the Carabao Cup. They have taken the lead against Graham Potter's West Ham United. It is Rodrigo Gomez. It has come directly after Hee-Chan Hwang hit the woodwork from a penalty miss, and the rebound was scored by Rodrigo Gomez. Wolves 1, West Ham United 0 in that All-Premier League tie. Okafor down the left, Mecha leaves it. Here's Aronson, whose shot was blocked in the box there. Piru picks it up, keeps it alive for Leeds. Surrounded by 3 Wednesday shirts, but he's got it away, but hasn't really made anything of it. And it's once again cleared by the Isles. Beady eyes at the back, right on the ball, getting bodies in the way of the Leeds attackers so far. Cambridge 2, Charlton 0 was a scoreline that I had mentioned a little earlier. I thought there was a goal in there, but I think that might have been disallowed. A goal for Charlton, or they have given it. I believe they have given it. So Charlton have got a goal back in that one. Ibrahim Fuller has got a goal back. It is Cambridge 2, Charlton Athletic 1 in that battle there. Keeping you right up to date with all of the scores from around the grounds. And of course we will update you at half-time to keep you right in the loop. And you'll not miss a single thing. Bradford have doubled their lead against Stoke City there at the Bet365 Stadium. And it is Brad Halliday that has given Bradford City a 2-goal cushion now over Stoke City of the Championship. The League One side have had an unbeaten start to the campaign, at winning 3 of their 5 league games this season, as Mecha has a go from about 7 yards right at Ethan Horvath. But an unbeaten start to the season for Bradford City. 3 wins out of their 5 league games, 2 draws in those other ones, both away from home. And they won away at Blackburn Rovers in the first round of the Carabao Cup. In that one, it is Blackburn 1, Bradford 2 in that game. So they've already had a scalping of a Championship side, Bradford, and they are now 2-0 up away at Stoke City. Incredible there at this moment in time. Right, update from the Champions League games. Kairat and Celtic is going to penalties, just as Misa Life lets me know there in the chat. Paphos 0, Crvena Zvezda, or Red Star Belgrade is goalless on the night. Paphos would go through on aggregate by 2-1 if it stays as it is. And Sturm Graz are 1-0 down at home against Bodo Glimt. It is now 6-0 to Bodo in that one, so they are all but certain to go through to the main stage of the Champions League after both sides, or after Sturm Graz made their debut in the Champions League last season. And it's now 2-0 to Bodo Glimt, so it is 7-0 on aggregate. That game is done and dusted. Another goal at Deepdale. It's been all action at Deepdale tonight. Preston North End against Wrexham, and it is 2-1 to Preston. They're back in front. Wrexham equalised not long after Preston took the lead the first time, but they are back in front, and it is Liam Lindsay with the goal that has given Preston the lead once more. Preston 2, Wrexham 1 in that all-championship tie. Right, back here at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday had a free kick a few moments ago, but came to nothing, and it was a comfortable catch for Carl Darlow in the Leeds goal. But the first real foray forward for the home side, who've barely had much to get excited about so far. And on that occasion, Bijol has a bit of defending to do, or Bernal, has a bit of defending to do against Brown, and he puts it out for the Sheffield Wednesday throw-in, high up on this left-hand side. Taken by Johnson and worked back to Weaver. Here is Weaver, and we'll go back to Horvath in the goal, and told to settle by his players. There, the goalkeeper. We have another goal to tell you about, and it is in our other All-Premier League tie. So Wolves lead 1-0 at home against West Ham in that All-Premier League tie. But the other one, Bournemouth against Brentford, the two Bees. The Cherries against the Bees, and it is the Bees that have the first sting of the night. They take the lead there at the Vitality Stadium. Keith Andrews, who got his first victory as a head coach at the weekend in their win over Aston Villa for Brentford at home. They have gone now tonight to Bournemouth and have taken the lead. Brentford have done well in cup competitions over the last few years. It is Fabio Carvalho that has given Brentford the lead there. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 1. Long ball forward here by Sheffield Wednesday, cut out by Sam Byram, who won his header. Sent back down the left channel that time by McGee, but it is too far for anybody in Wednesday colours to get anywhere near. So a Leeds throw will come. Right. You've got to say, it's a lot of work keeping up with all these ties. I'm enjoying it. I do love it when we get second and third round action, early rounds action of the Carabao Cup. It's a real thrill, you got to say, keeping up to date with the scores and let you know what's happening. As Leeds down this left-hand side. 20 minutes gone, by the way, still goalless here at Hillsborough. Leeds have had the better of the chances. Metcha had a shot that was right at Ethan Horvath. Noah Okafor's worked in behind a few times, but not much of real clear-cut chances for Leeds United so far. We've had the more than the lion's share of possession, still 83% of the possession in the first 20 minutes. Here's Longstaff, who I'm sure Newcastle United would have wanted to be in their team last night after injuries have come to the Newcastle United midfield in that Liverpool game. Longstaff, Okafor, back to Sean Longstaff. We'll get to another goal to tell you about. It's a big goal at Turf Moor. We'll get to that in a moment as Leeds work it down the left again. Harrison trying to link up with Okafor, underhit it, and then Gruev trying to find Okafor, who was offside. Right, goal at Turf Moor. Burnley had taken the lead in that game. They're living off a high under Scott Parker after that 2-0 win over Sunderland at the weekend, but it has not remained that way. Derby County of the Championship have levelled, and it is Bobby Clark who has levelled there. I know Bobby Clark myself. Bobby Clark, of course, on loan from Liverpool, and he on loan from Red Bull Salzburg after he went from Liverpool to Salzburg this summer. So he is on loan there, and he has given Derby County an equaliser. Burnley 1, Derby 1. Remember, all of those games that were down the left-hand side of your screen, bar the game that we're watching now, Sheffield Wednesday Leeds, and Wolves West Ham, so all of the 8 games in between, the top and the bottom fixtures there, are all 7:45 kickoffs, so they will be coming to the end of the first halves very, very shortly. The Wolves-West Ham game is half-time at the moment, and Wolves lead by a goal to nil. Penalty shootout at between Kairat and Celtic have missed their first penalty. Adam Ida has missed from the spot. This is the difference between Champions League money and Europa League football for Celtic and Kairat. The winner goes through to the Champions League main phase. The loser goes through to the Europa League main phase. We'll keep you up to date with how that penalty shootout progresses. But Celtic have Celtic have not scored the opening penalty. It has been missed by Adam Ida. The keeper saved it. There, Kairat, what a performance they've put in over 100 and whatever it would be now, 210 minutes overall against Celtic, and not conceded a wonderful defensive performance. Halfway through the first half here at Hillsborough, again still Leeds trying things, but on that occasion it was a long-ranger shot from Nemecha in the last few seconds. Saw that one sail over the crossbar, and Ethan Horvath takes this goal kick, sent down the right hand side and seen out of play for a Wednesday throw by Jack Harrison. Well, Sheffield Wednesday haven't scored in any of the last 4 games against Leeds United, drawn 1 and lost the other 3. They last lost 4 in a row against their Yorkshire rivals between November 1998 and April 2000. If they lose tonight, that record would be equalled. This is the 104th meeting of the two clubs, but it's their first ever in the League Cup. Of course, in cup competitions, it's their first since 1968-69, when Leeds won 3-1 in an FA Cup third round replay, and of course, Leeds eventually lifting the top flight title that season. I don't quite think if they win tonight, they're going to win the title. I don't think that's quite on the cards for Leeds, but stranger things have happened. But something tells me that's not going to happen. Yeah. By the way, we will tell you a little bit later at halftime about the third round draw that will take place after Grimsby and Man United's game tomorrow night. That will take place after the conclusion of that game, and we will tell you all the details about that, because there's a little bit trickier of a situation in round 3. Of course, round 3, the games, there is a north and south section in the first 2 rounds. That is eradicated into round 3. And also there's a bit more complication with European football as well. As Piru in behind. Here's Brendan Aronson. Felt he was brought down. He's well challenged in the box there by McGee. And Sheffield Wednesday get it away again. It was a lovely ball over the top. Piru held up to it well. And in the end, Brendan Aronson tried to get on the end of it, and he was well challenged by McGee in the Sheffield Wednesday box. Cole McGee there, the centre-back, making that crucial challenge, because I think if he didn't get involved there, Brendan Aronson would have had a very good chance at goal and against Ethan Horvath, but still goalless. Quick update from the penalty shootout in Kazakhstan. Celtic missed their first 2 penalties, by the way, so after Celtic have taken 3, Kairat have taken 2, it is 1-1, so Kairat still have the advantage. If they score their third penalty, they will have the overall advantage after the same amount of penalties taken. So it is advantage to the home side there at the minute. Celtic are heading for the Europa League main phase, but we'll see what comes of the final few penalties there. And Kairat have just scored their third penalty, so it is 2-1 to Kairat after 3 penalties apiece. It can all still change, but at the moment it is advantage to the home side. Reading have retaken the lead against AFC Wimbledon in that really early kick-off. There are only 20 minutes to go in that game. That kicked off at 7 o'clock tonight. Reading 2, Wimbledon 1. And Mamadi Kamara is the scorer there. 2-1 to Reading. Well, Leeds have seemed to have lost a little bit of control in the last few minutes. They have had a lot of the possession. They continue to have a lot of the possession, and Sheffield Wednesday haven't had a shot at the goal yet. But you just seem to think a couple of the passes are a little bit sloppier from Leeds. The tempo's dropped a little bit. They just need to get back in control of this game and kind of just get a bit of comfort for themselves. Try and get that opening goal. Will give them a bit more confidence. Here's Jack Harrison. Longstaff. Back to Harrison down this left-hand side. He's trying to break forward himself, Jack Harrison. Was it Leeds, or was it Everton last season? Okafor's delivery, it's behind the back, it's Aronson. What a save by the keeper. Great save by Horvath. Aronson didn't put as much power behind it as he could have on the half volley. It was a nice idea, nice move, but Horvath made the claim and parried it away from danger. That's probably Leeds' best move in the last 5 minutes as Gruyev pops over the top, but too high for Peru. Have to see that one again. It's a good move down the left-hand side. It's Okafor, breaks back, whips it in with his right foot, and it skims its way all around the back of the Sheffield Wednesday defenders. Brendan Aronson gets to it. He doesn't get enough power on it to threaten Ethan Horvath, who makes a good claim and a parry to get it away from danger. But that's as close as Leeds have come. Still goalless at this moment in time. The visitors pushing. It is all over in Kazakhstan. Celtic are out of the Champions League. They are heading to the Europa League main phase, and Kairat are going through to the Champions League. They are the first Kazakhstani team in 10 years to get to the Champions League main phase, or the group stage as it would have been back then, and they have beaten Celtic on penalties, 3-2 on penalties after 2 goalless draws in the main play. What a result for the Kazakhstani side, Kairat Almaty, and they have knocked Celtic out of the Champions League playoff round, and Celtic are heading for Europa League football. Right, back to Carabao Cup action. Here is Joel Peru inside to Brendan Aronson. In behind here, he's chipped it into the box. A little bit too high, but no Okafor will recycle it for Leeds down the left. Harrison with the early cross. It's deep, it's high, it's too deep, and it's too high. Goal kick. Right, goals to tell you about. Big goal to tell you about in the game between Birmingham and Port Vale. Birmingham of the Championship. They've had a great start to the campaign in their Championship return, winning 2 of their 3 games, beating Sheffield United as well in the first round of the League Cup. But could a shocker be on the cards from League One Port Vale, who have taken the lead at St Andrews? Port Vale are in front. It is Birmingham 0, Port Vale 1. Jaheim Headley has given them the lead right before half-time, and that could be a shocker on the cards there. Championship Birmingham are behind against League One Port Vale. As well, Southampton have taken the lead away at Norwich at Carrow Road. It's not been a great start to the season for Norwich after they had a really poor Championship campaign last time round, but they are behind against Southampton this evening at Carrow Road. Cameron Archer with the goal set up by Ross Stewart, and Southampton are in front. As well, at the game between Swansea and Plymouth, as I said about that torrid start to the season for Plymouth, they are back level in that one. So League One sides holding their own away in Championship grounds tonight in those ones. And it is Brendan Sarpong Wiredu who has given Plymouth a leveller. It is Swansea City 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. And by the way, once it goes half-time in this game at 8 o'clock, we will keep you right up to date there at this moment in time on all of the other 18 ties that will either be done or dusted at half-time or into the second half by the time we start or get to half-time of this game. 31 minutes gone. It is still goalless so far. Again, it's all one-way traffic. It's all Leeds attacking, Sheffield Wednesday defending. But at the moment, Leeds struggling to find that extra little advantage to give themselves a lead as Okafor tries to force a pass around the corner, but he was crowded out. Wednesday trying to break through again, but once more as they try and play it forward, Leeds have too many bodies there to recover it. And Bernal gives it out wide to Harrison. Here is Longstaff, Harrison, Mecha. He's flicked it out to Bornau. He's given it down the line to Sam Byram down the right. and continued his run. Metcha down this right hand side now, chops back against his defender. Lucas Metcha still under pressure, pushed away from the Wednesday goal, and that's going to be a Leeds free kick by Cole McGee. It was a great bit of defending, not letting Lucas Metcha have any time or any space on the ball, forcing him back away and ultimately doing too much in the end and giving away the free kick. But very, very positive there from Sheffield Wednesday defensively once more. As Brendan Aronson's ready to take this free kick then. We have a goal at the Den to tell you about. We'll get there in a moment in that All Championship tie between Millwall and Coventry. Brendan Aronson with the delivery here. Far right hand side, right around the touchline. Body's in the box, right footed, it's low, and hasn't cleared the first man there. That was a poor delivery by the American. Wednesday try and clear it once more. Leeds hanging on there, and they've given it away cheaply here, Leeds, tonight. Wednesday want a break. Here's Jamal Lowe down the left hand side, chops inside Longstaff, and again Wednesday could be in a move here. Down this right hand side, it's a shot from distance. That's blocked in the box there by Bijol. And that's gone out for a throw-in to Sheffield Wednesday on the far right side. That's the first real time we've seen the home side break forward with any real grit intensity. And it was Jamal Lowe. He did really well here. Skips past Longstaff, then chops inside at Brendan Aronson on the recovery. And they work it back across to the right-hand side here Wednesday. And they have the shot from long range that is blocked by Bijol and put out for the throw, which I think they're going to go long with here. It's the first bit of pressure Leeds have been under in this first half. Long throw in again. It's kept alive. It's bouncing down and then thumped away from Fusine. Here's Johnson. And they have to work it back the ways now to Sheffield Wednesday, but a little bit of promise that they've defended Leeds well in this first half. They've given them a few half chances really, but nothing of real great note for Daniel Farker's team. But Sheffield Wednesday will be convinced and starting to believe that maybe they can catch Leeds on the break a little bit with that positive moment. It's just surpassed us, but still goalless at this moment in time. I can tell you about that All Championship tie, as I was mentioning, between Millwall and Coventry. Millwall have taken the lead in that one, so they're now leading by a goal to nil. Massimo Luongo has given Millwall the lead there. As Byram works it into the box. Here's a chance for Metcha, whose shot was blocked and bounced up into the hands of Ethan Horvath in the Wednesday goal. And they're getting little glimpses, Leeds, but not quite a clear-cut chance falling for them. That's a nice move, though. Metcha, again, trying to squeeze between the myriad of bodies. And he does get the free kick. Fairly central. It's a good 25, 30 yards out. And the referee doesn't want them to take it quickly there, Rob Jones. Longstaff, out wide it goes to Byram. Have to come back the way to Bornout. One thing about Leeds, they haven't moved it quick enough on too many occasions, and when they have and been a little bit sharper and been a little bit more one-touch moves, that's what they've got in behind Sheffield Wednesday as they battle down the left there. And Harrison, I think, is gonna be a goal kick, I believe. They wanted a corner there, Leeds, but looked like the referee pointed for a goal kick. We'll see it again. Oh, I mean, there's no clear advantage there, no clear evidence either way there, if I'm honest. And there's a Wednesday player down here at the moment, down this side, and I think it's the defender, Gabriel Otejabo. Otejabo, sorry. And he's going to get some treatment. Right, that gives me time to update around the grounds. Bromley are back in the game against Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe took the lead early in that game through Vestergaard, but it's Arthurs, that is Jude Arthurs, that's levelled for Bromley. Bromley, of course, of League 2, and they knocked out Ipswich, of course, if you remember, on penalties in the first round, and they are taking on Wycombe. Wycombe took the lead, but Bromley are back in the game. 1-1 in that one, and it's half-time as well, by the way, in that one. Edging close to the dying embers between Reading and Wimbledon. 9 minutes to go with the normal time in that one there, leading by 2-1 are Reading. Can Wimbledon try and battle back late? Of course, remember, any game that is level after 90 minutes tonight, there are no extra time. It is straight to a penalty shootout to decide a winner, which, as I said, I for one am quite happy with, because yeah, it's a waste of 30 minutes, especially in a cup competition that is between league games, and already teams and players are already going through enough fixture congestion. The last thing they need is cup competition midweek extra times. Penalties are the best way to decide a game of football, and that is what we're going straight to if any game is level after 90. Right. A quick scan down the sheet, and we do have a goal, a big goal to tell you about, in another one of our all Premier League ties. There's only one that is currently ongoing, and that is at Molineux to tell you about. That kicked off at 7:30 this evening. They're into the second half now in that one. Wolves took the lead. He Chen Huang missed his penalty. It was hit the woodwork. Rodrigo Gomez, though, followed up and gave Wolves the lead. But West Ham United have responded. Whatever Graham Potter said to them at the break has got them back into the game, and Thomas Souček has levelled for West Ham United. I would take a slight guess at saying it was maybe a header, because Thomas Souček loves a good headed goal, but it is Wolves 1, West Ham United 1 at this moment in time. So that is a big goal for West Ham. And both sides need a bit of positivity after they've both failed to win either of their first two games. Both lost their first two games, did Wolves and West Ham. Actually, Wolves' first goal of the season has come tonight in that game against West Ham. West Ham only their second goal of the campaign after that cracking finish from Lucas Paquetá in the game against Chelsea last Friday night. A big game for them both tonight to get some positivity around their respective clubs in the early season of this campaign. Right, back here at Hillsborough, again, 6 minutes to go between these two sides in the first half. And again, I repeat it time and time again, it's Leeds that are on top, it's Leeds that have had the possession, it's Leeds with a lot of the positivity. But at the minute, the way Sheffield Wednesday have defended, they've defended so strongly with that back five, and then the three in front have just stifled Leeds on so many occasions, and they've struggled to break that line, to break through, and on many occasions have actually lacked the creative insight and the actual kind of ability to break the lines, in a sense. It's not that Sheffield Wednesday have put in unbelievable clearances and unbelievable tackles and wonderful saves. It's not that Leeds have been pummeling the goal, and that's where the issue will come for Daniel Farke, is the fact that his side have had so much of the ball that they're still struggling with that creativity at this moment in time to try and break down this Sheffield Wednesday defence. And it looks like there's an issue here for one of the Wednesday players, which means they're going to have to make a change here. Joe Emery is going to be coming on for Henrik Pedersen's side, and they're going to make a first half substitute at this moment in time, which is certainly not what they want, but it looks like they're going to have to be forced into that one at this moment in time. Joseph says, you look like you are feeling better. Houdini last night. Yeah, I do apologise. As I was saying a little earlier, we had technical issues. I mean, literally, I was ready to go at all the stats, all the graphics, everything ready to go. We were going live early, about quarter to 8. And then as soon as we clicked live, the stream dropped. And I was like, not this again. The game went, trying to get it back, then the stream dropped. And we were like, do you know what? It's terrible, but it happens, and I think it seems to happen on the biggest games. That's the point I was making earlier on. It seems to go, all of this system seems to go when the game is probably one of the biggest, and it's something we need to sort out, and something we will sort out, of course. We'll try and soldier through probably till the international break, and then see where we go from there. But yeah, I do massively apologise. I am one that I'm so disappointed because I got one of my predictions right. I did my Premier League predictions over the weekend, and I predicted a 3-2 win for Liverpool, and look what came. Yeah, unbelievable. What a result, and what a game, and what a night it would have been. But yeah, technology always loves to mess us about, doesn't it? When we need it the most, it always seems to get in our way and hamper us more than help us at the vast majority of times. Right, by the way, they have made that change at Sheffield Wednesday. Joe Emery has come on for Gabriel Odegbio. He is off, so a straight swap at centre back there for Sheffield Wednesday. And it is still goalless. Thought you were ill. No, I wasn't ill. Yeah, I wish I was ill, because it would be an excuse that I would be happy to go for, and I would be happy to work on and soldier on and maybe get through the game. But yeah, it was technology, which it's a pain sometimes. Real English says, can you believe Celtic go down on penalties? Yeah. Well, I'm more surprised they didn't score over the two legs against Kairat. Really, really poor from Celtic, and yeah, they've got their reward for it, really, quite sarcastically. Europa League football. No Champions League for Celtic after 3 seasons in a row with Champions League football. Brendan Rodgers' side failed to get over the line and get Europa and end up in the Europa League. Still European football, but Europa League it is indeed, and it might be that their Glasgow rivals might be joining them in the Europa League, depending on what happens between Rangers and Bruges tomorrow night. When they play their second leg of the Champions League playoff round. Bruges 3-1 up after their win at Ibrox last week. So we'll see what comes of that one. But Celtic and Rangers might both be in the Europa League main phase come September. And of course the draw for the Champions League main phase is on Thursday. We'll have full details of all of the action of that. And we'll have a reaction to that on Thursday evening for you to keep you right up to date. Right, 90 seconds or less to go in this first half here at Hillsborough. And I gotta say, it's not been the most enamouring game of football so far. Leeds have looked bright, as I said. They've looked bright on the in attack and a lot of the possession. But so far, without any end product to show for it. And of course, they've got the players in the side that can break down the defence of Sheffield Wednesday. So far, to no avail. And here's George Brown trying to get Wednesday on a rare attack here. Trying to work it down the left, but Ilya Gruyev did enough just to see him out. Right, a lot of our 7:45s are either going to half-time or at half-time at the minute, and they will be coming out for the second halves very shortly. The second halves are underway in some of the earlier kickoffs. It's Reading 2, Wimbledon 1. They're coming to the last few minutes of that game. It was a 7:30 kickoff at Cambridge. Cambridge 3-1 up now against Charlton in that one. So Championship Charlton not going well against Cambridge United of League 2. And it looks like that away game for Charlton is going to be a threat for them. They're 3-1 down. Bradshaw with the third goal not long into the second half has extended Cambridge's lead. It is Wolves 1, West Ham 1 in that game. That was also a 7:30 kickoff. Right, corner to Leeds, right on the verge of the 45 minutes here. We'll see how long will be added on. 3 minutes it will be. Jack Harrison to take this Leeds corner. Left-footed, bouncing down, cleared away. Only as far as Brendan Aronson, and the long-range effort was on target, but again right at Horvath in the Sheffield Wednesday goal from Noah Okafor. I wonder if who they're trying to sign now will be dissuaded because there's no Champions League football. That's a good point about Celtic. There's been a lot of discourse over their signings this summer and whether they have replaced key positions that they sold. Most notably, of course, Kyogo, who went to Birmingham. Of course, over the summer, and whether they've replaced them. Arguments were made that they haven't replaced them adequately enough for Celtic, and clearly that might be the thing, because they failed to score in 2 games over a Kazakhstani side who they would expect to beat Celtic, but they failed to prevail, and they're into the Europa League. We'll see, as you say, how that affects their signings and what moves Brendan Rodgers and the hierarchy in Glasgow will be making in the final few days of the transfer window. Byram has to chase that one down, and hot-footed one from Bijol, and it's given Sheffield Wednesday a little bit of a glimpse here. Johnson finding Jamal Lowe. He's held it up well, and Bijol has to make the challenge, and he's a little bit late there. That's going to be a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Jakob Bijol with the foul on Jamal Lowe, the Wednesday captain. It was a good ball by Johnson over the head of Bijol, and Lowe took a touch away from the defender who came right through the back of him I made a little bit of a loose challenge, and that will get Sheffield Wednesday a free kick in the centre of the field with a minute to go of the first half. We'll see what comes of this set piece. Darlow trying to set up his defensive wall for Leeds United. He's got 4 in the wall, and that, of course, that draft excluder as well. It has been so popular in defending set pieces. Certainly free kicks, and it's Jamal Lowe that's over it. It's about 20, 26, 27, 28 yards out. Jamal Lowe to take the shot. Oh, it was going towards goal. It had Carl Darlow diving, but it just went wide of the left post. Yeah, see it again. It's a good effort by Jamal Lowe. It's up and over the wall, and it was curling towards that left corner, and it just goes wide. It had Carl Darlow worried, and that's why he had to make the challenge, or had to make the dive for it. They've got a bit of confidence now, working the ball into the box again, and that one straight at Carl Darlow this time. And there is the half-time whistle. A first half where Sheffield Wednesday have been almost exclusively defending. Well, at half-time, they almost probably took the lead before half-time, and Jamal Lowe's effort there, best of the half, certainly. Leeds have had half chances, have had half opportunities, but no one able to break past Ethan Horvath in the Wednesday goal, or any of those Wednesday defenders. Half-time, it is Championship Sheffield Wednesday 0, Premier League Leeds United 0, and we'll be back to round up all of the scores from the 18 other ties and analyse this first half in just a few minutes. Do stay with us. Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this, and Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions, and there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Race again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Carabao Cup Live second round action here this evening on LFS. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you all with us for this one this evening. Half-time in our feature game tonight in the second round. It is Championship side Sheffield Wednesday who are holding Premier League side Leeds United to a goalless draw. Two sides very well acquainted with each other. And at half-time, there is nothing to separate them. Currently in the poll, in the chat, 60% of you predict that Leeds will be heading into round 3. 40% to Sheffield Wednesday, so a fairly balanced one there. Not as one-sided as one would expect, but at this moment in time, it could go either way. And as we saw with Jamal Lowe's effort from a free kick, it only takes one moment to take the lead and maybe cause a bit of an upset. Right. We're going to get to action from around the grounds in a moment. Quickly to the chat. Joseph Rue says, "Are you a genie?" What does that mean? I don't know, understand that. Real English says, "Whoever came up with the name draft excluder is a genius." I gotta be honest, yeah. I mean, draft excluder? I've just heard it from other commentators and other coverage, and I'm like, it makes sense. Draft excluder, making sure that there's no one getting underneath. Yeah. They're pretty useless in a sense, because no one ever goes low from a free kick from those range. You're going to go high, you're going to try and get it round the wall or over the wall. No one ever goes underneath the wall. So, but yeah, more of a cautionary thing rather than anything else. Right, let's show you our selected fixtures tonight. These are the games that we've selected, but of course all 19 ties at this moment in time. At this minute in time, it is all but over at Reading taking on Wimbledon. So we'll have all these selected fixtures, but we'll also read out the other ones as well. Reading 2-1 up there at this minute in time, and could be going through unless Wimbledon get a late equaliser. Fraser with the opener there. It was then Bougiel who equalised for Wimbledon, but in the second half it is Mamadi Kamara that seemingly at this minute in time would have the winner for Reading. They're coming into the very final few seconds of that one. A 7:30 kickoff between League 2 Cambridge and Championship side Charlton. Cambridge 3-1 up at this minute in time. They are really cruising against the Championship side, and Cambridge United of League 2 are looking to cause an upset after their first round win away at Bristol Rovers, and they lost to Bristol Rovers actually just in their last game at the league at the weekend, and they are looking to head through to round 3 at the minute. It's as good as it can be for Cambridge United, 3-1 up against Charlton. In the All Premier League tie, we have an update to tell you about. That scoreline at the top of your screen between Wolves and West Ham is not the latest score. It was the last time we checked in, it was the latest score. Wolves took the lead in the first half, Wang missing a penalty. Rodrigo Gomez scored from the rebound. Then in the second half, West Ham have come out with the better of it at this minute in time. Thomas Souček with the equaliser, and the man who scored the only West Ham goal of the season before tonight has given them the lead on the night. It is Wolves 1, West Ham United 2 in that one at this minute in time. Lucas Paqueta has given them the lead for the first time tonight for the Hammers, and Graham Potter's side could have a bit of positivity coming into this evening. They were looking for that, desperate for that first win of the campaign after 2 successive Premier League defeats and a harsh defeat against Chelsea in their last league game, but they are leading Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-1. Right, we're very close high in that one. That's a 7:30 kickoff, so there's about 23 minutes left in that one, so there shouldn't be much long left. Accrington 0, Doncaster Rovers 0 in that one. That's a 7:45. Barnsley 0, Rotherham 1 in that one. As they are into the second half. Of course, all of these 7:45s into the second half. The only goal in that one between Barnsley and Rotherham came very early in the game. Arjani Martha with the only goal, Rotherham leading by a 1-0. A big shock could be on the cards here at St Andrews. Birmingham are 1-0 down against League 1 Port Vale. Port Vale who failed to score at the weekend in a defeat at home. They are away to Birmingham this evening, and a goal has been scored by Jaheim Headley just before half-time. Port Vale lead by a 0-0. Massive goal for the League One side. To the other All-Premier League tie at the Vitality Stadium, and this is the away side that lead there as well. Bournemouth down by a 0-0. Fabio Carvalho and Keith Andrews in charge of Brentford is looking for a second win as the head coach after his first win against Aston Villa. And that came as a 1-0 win at the weekend. Looking for a second as Brentford boss. Right, Bromley, who fantastically knocked out Ipswich in round 1. They were behind against Wickham. Vestergaard with a goal put them behind, but an equaliser from Jude Arthurs has got Bromley back in the game. It is 1-1 there. In the Premier League, in the game where the Premier League side Burnley are hosting Derby County, it is 1-1 into the second half there. Aaron Ramsey gave Burnley the lead inside 4 minutes, but a goal from Bobby Clark, who's on loan from RB Salzburg, has levelled for Derby County. It is 1-1 there. Goalless between Burton Albion and Lincoln City in that game there. 2-0 to Cardiff against Cheltenham. In that one, Isaac Davis and Callum Chambers on the score sheet for Cardiff. Millwall, they've just gone to half-time. It was a 7:45 initial kick-off, but it has gone to half-time because there was a delay to kick-off there. But Millwall lead by a 0-0 against Coventry in that all-championship tie. At the break, Massimo Luongo has got the goal. Speaking of 1-0 leads, it is a 1-0 lead for Southampton away at Norwich at Carrow Road. Cameron Archer with a goal has given Southampton the lead there into the second half there as well. Preston 2-1 up against Wrexham, that other Old Championship tie. Lewis Dobbin with the opener. An equaliser from Ryan Hardy got Wrexham back on terms before Liam Lindsay, just before half-time, gave Preston the lead once more. Could Bradford City be pulling off another bit of a scalping? They beat Blackburn Rovers away in the first round and have had an incredible start to their season. Unbeaten are Bradford City of League One, and they are 2-0 away at Stoke here this evening. Will Swan and Brad Halliday with the 2 goals have Bradford City in a bit of relative comfort at the Bet365. It is Stoke City 0, Bradford City 2. Sunderland are also not having it their own way at home tonight, and they are behind against a team 2 divisions lower than them. League One Huddersfield taking on the Premier League side tonight, and Leo Castledine has given Huddersfield the lead there. They're into the second half, so it's not going all rosy for the home sides tonight, and certainly home sides that are either a division above or more than their opponents. Swansea won, Plymouth won. That's another one where a lower division side have held the home side of a higher division. Vipotnik had given Swansea the lead, but just before half-time, it was an equaliser from Plymouth Argyle. Brendan Sarpong Wiredu has equalised for them. They're into the second half. It's still 1-1. 0-0 between Wigan and Stockport. And our game here this evening, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Leeds United 0. Right, so that's the way we stand at the break in all of our games. These are all the games, all the selected fixtures for tonight. Let's get to the chat again for you. Adama says, well done, pal. Best commentary on YouTube by far. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. Great for the support. Joseph says, rubbing your nose, mate. Yeah, I have an itchy nose. Is that what you meant by Genie? Yeah, I'm rubbing my nose. Yeah, I apologise for that. My nose gets itchy. I don't know what it is, but I don't understand it. Yeah, but I do apologise if that upsets you. Joseph Real English says, I think I've seen Messi play draft excluder for PSG. Lowest moment of his career. I don't think it would be a pretty nice moment to be said. Do you know what, Leo? You're going to be useless in the all of tonight's 19 ties when they are concluded for you before the final whistle. Right, don't forget though, we have more Carabao Cup action for you tomorrow night. We're at Grimsby. Blundell Park, Grimsby Town, taking on Manchester United. As I said earlier in the opener, Manchester United haven't been in the second round in quite a while. It's not a name you usually hear, but it is reserved for Premier League sides who don't make European football, and that's where Man United are this season. And they head to Blundell Park to take on Grimsby Town tomorrow at 8. Without a win in their first 2 Premier League games, Manchester United, a defeat at home to Arsenal, and then a draw away at Fulham at the weekend sees Man United winless in their first 2 games of the season. Can they get their first win away at Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup? We'll see. And an update for you about that third round draw. It is a little complicated, so I'll try and summarise it as best as possible. That will come after the Grimsby Man United game, around about 10:30 tomorrow night, and we'll let you know all the details of that when that does occur. But of course, in line with last year's competition, this season's Carabao Cup third round fixtures will take place across 2 different weeks, the 15th and the 22nd of September. Those 2 weeks, fixtures of the Champions League, of course, that begin on the 15th, and the Europa League on the 22nd, causes a little bit of confusion here. But it means that without disrupting these competitions, they have to play in different weeks, and also additional conditions are put in place that ensure that clubs participating in the Champions League or the Europa League cannot meet each other in round 3 of the League Cup to ensure that they can play on separate weeks, so that it is not overly complicated. But we'll tell you more about that and let you know more about that tomorrow night. But the third round draw of the competition comes after Grimsby against Man United around about 10:30 tomorrow night. Right, second half between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds is on the way very shortly. It's goalless. Can we get a goal in the second half? We'll find out. Second half on the way next. Right, welcome back to Carabao Cup second round live here this evening on LFS. Great to have you with us for this one. Tonight, of course, Sheffield Wednesday Leeds is an 8 o'clock kickoff, so the second half will be getting underway there very shortly. All the rest of the ties are currently into the second half, including that game between Millwall and Coventry that was delayed. 7:45 kickoff that was delayed, but it is into the second half there. A quick look at the poll again. A couple more votes have come in. It's still a 60-40 split that Leeds are currently winning in that one on who's going to go through to round 3. Let us know what you think, and we have a lot to still bring you up to date with right throughout the evening. A lot can still happen in this one. Not much has happened really overall because it is still goalless, and we're awaiting our first goal of the night, and hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. It will be Leeds that will get us underway, and it's Lucas Mecha that gets us going for the second half here between Leeds United and Sheffield Wednesday, who both sides hoping that tonight can be the night they can get through. Leeds United probably have more expectation to get through with the fact that they are the Premier League side and that they have the better of the squad. But of course, as we know and as we've witnessed in a lot of the fixtures tonight, it is not as easy or as simple as you are the team higher up in the football pyramid. Does that automatically give you a place into the next round? There's been a goal, by the way, in the game between Preston and Wrexham. It was a very close tie, and Wrexham have gone and equalised for the second time tonight. It is Preston 2, Wrexham 2 in that one, and it is Harry Ashfield that has given Wrexham the leveller. So that one is as tight as can be between Preston and Wrexham at Deepdale, 2-2. Cardiff are 3-0 up against Cheltenham as well in that one, so it looks like they will be heading through to round 3. Joel Colwell has extended Cardiff City's lead, in that one, and they are 3-2 the good now. And a quick scan up and down the sheet, and that is all I can tell you about. A full-time score, by the way, from Reading and Wimbledon. It has finished Reading 2, Wimbledon 1. So Wimbledon are out, and Reading are the first name in the hat for round 3. And of course, all of those names will be pulled out tomorrow night. Right, back to this game then, between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds. Leeds with the expectation, Sheffield Wednesday with the hope. The ball played down the left-hand side here for Harrison. Tries to go for the early cross, blocked at the near side by Sequeira, who's backtracking well. That will be a Leeds corner, in the end of which the Leeds fans reside inside this stadium. They are the only mass group of fans inside the stadium. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday fans boycotting this game in protest against their ownership and the chaos that has ensued across the summer at this football club. Corner to Leeds, left-hand side. Harrison over it, left-footed delivery. It's got into the box, the header! And it's flicked on, it's still alive. Horvath tries to punch it away. Does clear it away. Aronson tried to stretch in between the lines, and Gruyev over the top. But again, Sheffield Wednesday batting away everything that Leeds try and throw at them. And now they want to counter themselves here. They're on the move. It is Brown down this right-hand side. He plays in Jamal Lowe. Looking for options. Back to George Brown, who's going to have a go. And he's forced a good challenge and a dive at a Carl Darlow, who makes a good claim. But again, on the breakaway there, Sheffield Wednesday wanting to hit Leeds a little bit. And they almost were successful on that occasion. George Brown with the effort from around about the edge of the box. I think it was going wide anyway, but Carl Darlow made the dive and made the catch. A little bit of chaos after that Leeds corner a mere moment earlier. Harrison, Gruyev, Piru trying to work it in behind for Mecha first time there. Just blocked that time by Weaver. And then Sheffield Wednesday get a free kick in the middle here through Sean Fusiri. Long kick forward once again by Horvath. Once more, Leeds recovering with relative ease at this minute in time. I think they need something else on this pitch at the minute, Leeds. I think Daniel Farker gives it 10-15 minutes before he does look to his bench to try and change things. The crowd getting behind them, behind that goal, trying to drag it towards the goal. Here's Okafor, dribbling his way through. Still got a hold of the ball here, Okafor, as he's brought down. And that's going to be a free kick. Fouled by Shipston. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds United. That was really good skill from Noah Okafor. You thought that he was going to lose the ball. He was in a crowd of bodies and somehow he still manoeuvred his way into a good area and then was eventually brought down, which committed the foul by Shipston. Second goal for Southampton at Carrow Road. So it looks like a pretty poor start to the season for Norwich is going to get even poorer for them. They've done well in the Carabao Cup over the recent years, getting into round 3 a number of times, but tonight it looks like they're going to be over after round 2. Ryan Fraser with the second goal for the Saints. 2-0 to Southampton. Also 3-0 now to Bradford City. What a performance from the League One side there, and it is a third goal. It's George Lapsley that has given them the goal there. 3-0 to Bradford away at Stoke. Here's the Leeds free kick. Gruyev. And that's sealed well wide. Real disappointment there from Leeds. And Daniel Farker, not particularly happy with that. Not particularly happy at all with his team's set piece there. And I can't blame Daniel Farker. His side have had more than enough of the ball to do something with it. They've had 8 shots in this game, Leeds, 3 of them on target. But I gotta say, overall, they've not been clinical anywhere near enough. And I can't really remember a point where Ethan Horvath had to pull off a great save at any stage of this game tonight. Here comes Jamal Lowe down this right-hand side, trying to dribble through. And he's forced to challenge out a Biyol. That wins Sheffield Wednesday a throw-in, down this right-hand side. So Biyol's having a bit of a tough time against Jamal Lowe. Certainly in this second half. With some goals to update you from our all Premier League games. All Premier League ties as Sheffield Wednesday have the ball and they work it back to their defenders again. And Weaver and McGee. Oh, McGee gives it telegraphs that ball a little too openly. Sam Barham receives for Leeds United. But again, a lack of punch in Leeds' movement. And intensity is just allowing Sheffield Wednesday, when they do lose the ball, just to drop a little back, just drop back into shape. And Leeds are just too slow with it, too laboured in their passing and their play to find a breakthrough at the minute. At rights, updates from around the grounds. We'll go to Molineux first, because that is the game that is closest to a finish. They're into the last 7 minutes of that game at Molineux. It's Wolves 2, West Ham United 2 now. Wolves have equalised, and after a bid was put in by Newcastle United for this player last night, rejected by Wolves, said he's too good, too important for us. Well, clearly he is, because Jorgen Strand Larsen has levelled for Wolves. It is 2-2. All still to play for in that all Premier League tie that could possibly head to penalties if it stays as it is over the next 7-8 minutes. Something tells me there might be another twist coming there. Barnsley, what a comeback they've had in the second half. 2 goals in the space of 10 minutes for Barnsley, have them leading against Rotherham. They were a goal down at half time. They are now leading. John Russell and Adam Phillips. Barnsley 2-1 up against Rotherham now in that one. So they are leading, and a goal in that other all-Premier League tie. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 2 in that one. I don't know why I built that one up, because I give it away right away. 2-0 now to Brentford. So that is looking all good for Keith Andrews there tonight. Igor Thiago, who scored their only goal of the season on match week 1, and he has got them another goal tonight. He has scored. It's 2-0 now to Brentford. Free kick to Leeds here. Piru with the efforts, and it goes well wide again from the left-hand side. And you'll see this again. It's Piru over it, left-footed, and he tries to find that top left corner. Horvath diving, but he just couldn't keep it. The right side of the post, and it goes wide for a goal kick. Well, there's been some more updates. I told you I felt that there was not the ending at Wolves West Ham. I didn't think it was going to end 2-2. I'll keep my predictions on the cards, certainly. Listen to me again, because Jorgen Strand-Larsen has scored again. It is Wolves 3, West Ham United 2. What a turnaround once more from Wolves. What a game in that tie. Oh, it's given away cheaply here by Horvath. Can Leeds take advantage? Brendan Aronson's effort is sent over the bar by the body of a Sheffield Wednesday defender. I think it was Johnson it was. Yeah, see it here. Down the left-hand side it comes, and it's played back to Horvath, who's under pressure from Lucas Mecha. Good pressing. And then it's played right to Joel Peru, who lays it out wide to Brendan Aronson. And Aronson, as he goes to have the shot, good block by Johnson to send it flying over the bar for a Leeds corner. Jorgensen Larsen, by the way, got that third goal for Wolves, so it is 3-2. What a game that is at Molineux. Here come Leeds again. Into the box. Narrow angle. How's that one gone wide? Brendan Aronson again trying to find a way past the Wednesday goalkeeper. And at the minute, there is just no way through. Again, they try the cute little short corner Leeds. Brendan Aronson picks the ball up. He skips past his defender. As he arrives towards the 6-yard box, the ball towards the front post. Whether did it get a deflection? I don't think it did, and I don't think Ethan Horvath had anything to do with it, but dived towards it. I think that goes for a goal kick. But once again, Leeds pushing and threatening, but to no avail. And I said Daniel Farker might give it 10-15 minutes before he looks to his bench. Well, at the minute, he's in conversation with Willie Nonto to try and make that change and change the dynamic of this game, because at the minute, it is going to be a real bore draw, because Leeds cannot find a way through. Sheffield Wednesday are not about to let them have a chance at getting through at this stage of the game. Accrington Stanley are down to 10 men now. 2 second half yellow cards from Josh Woods sees them have the less man over Doncaster Rovers. It's still goalless, but it could be a difference maker in the game there at Accrington Stanley. Quick look around the grounds elsewhere. It is still all the same in all of those games, by the way. We'll let you know if anything changes. But as they edge closer to the endings of our 7:30 games, 2 7:30 kickoffs, by the way. Cambridge 3-1 up against Charlton, and Wolves 3-2 up against West Ham. About 3 minutes of normal time to go in both of those games. Remember, if either are level, after 90 minutes, penalties will be needed. But at the minute, none would need that at the moment. Here's Okafor. Aronson, out wide it goes to Harrison, whips it into the box, cleared away at the near post, back to Harrison. He's challenged hard, but he's somehow kept the possession. He's done really well there, Jack Harrison. And Aronson, trying to recycle at Leeds. Lots of bodies still hanging up there from the corner a few seconds ago. Here's Harrison again, off to his right side, finds Sean Longstaff, who lofts it into the box, but over the head of Joel Peru, and he's chasing it to keep it in, and he does. And then he tries to win the corner out of Johnson, and it ends up going for a goal kick. Yeah, he thought he was being smart there, Joe Peru. And in the end, it backfires on him. Right, change in here for Leeds. I'm actually going to make 2 changes, and a big one in that. Brendan Aronson is coming off. Willie Nonto's coming on for him. But it's the other change that is more interesting. Lucas Mecha is coming off, and you guessed it, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is coming on for Leeds United. Could he be the difference maker for Leeds tonight? They've been lacking that potency up front. They've been lacking that physical quality in the final third. That's exactly what Dominic Calvert-Lewin possesses. Of course, joined on a free transfer from, of course, was at Everton last season, was let go, and then joined on a free to Leeds United this summer. And he surely will add a lot of experience in this Leeds team, and they'll see if they can get the very best out of him. Something he couldn't really get out of Everton over the last few years. And of course, this is his Leeds debut tonight. Of course, wasn't involved in either of their league games so far. He was signed on the 15th of August, 11 days ago, but hasn't been involved in either of Leeds' 2 opening games against Everton or Arsenal, but he is involved tonight. And his last game for Everton was against Newcastle on the final day of last season, in a defeat for Everton, by the way. Or a win, sorry. 1-0 win for Everton. And his first Leeds performance tonight. And can he get a goal on his debut that could help Leeds try and push for a place in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup? We'll see. Here's Gruyev finding Harrison. Out wide it goes to Calvert-Lewin. Okafor now picks it up. Longstaff, now Harrison. Harrison with a cross. Calvert-Lewin was trying to throw himself at it. It's fallen here for Nonto. Down the right side, he's covered over for the moment, but he works it back to Beal. Trying to manoeuvre it a little bit quicker, Leeds. Harrison back across to Beal. We'll try her down the right side now. Bernal. Now Nonto. Up against Johnson. Tricky customer at the best of times, Willie Nonto. Linking up with Peru. Now edge of the box. Sam Byram. Looking to work an angle. Struggling to find anybody in Leeds shirts as he lays it off to Peru. Trying to squeeze it between the lines. Longstaff does well. Lays it out wide to Byram. Byram with a cross. Up and away again by Weaver in the middle for Wednesday. It is all Leeds and a little bit more intensity now since the substitutions. Here's Byram. 60 minutes gone. Still goalless here at Hillsborough. Nonto. Byram. Nonto again. Through to Byram. He's made a nice move here. Sam Byram chips it into the box. Too high. Harrison's going to have a go. Shot blocked by Sequeira there. Right in front of him. Right. Real control from Leeds, but again still lacking that output. Accrington down to 10, as I said, could be the difference maker in that game. Well, they've gone behind now. Doncaster Rovers are now leading by 1-0, so directly that did affect them, and they didn't last more than 4 minutes with 10 men before they were behind. Owen Bailey with a goal, and Doncaster are 1 to the good in that one. Quick glance over the games to make sure I haven't missed anything. And so far I haven't. All the same around the grounds. Corner to Leeds, right hand side. Final few minutes in those two early 7:30 kickoffs. We'll confirm final scores when they come through to us. Left footed delivery from the corner. Flicked on, headed on by Byram. Couldn't really get much to it. And it was going towards the back post. And actually there's going to be a free kick given to Sheffield Wednesday here. Leeds penalised for being too physical in the middle. We are Leeds as Leeds are being rubbish. Well, they're lacking that potency in the attacking third, that clinical edge that they need to find. And Sheffield Wednesday, you've got to give them so much credit on how they defended Leeds here tonight. They've done really, really, really well so far. All the turmoil off the pitch, but on the pitch tonight they have looked as bright as anything, certainly defensively. Real English says, thanks again for the great commentary. Time for me to get some shut eye. Yes, no worries. Thank you very much for joining us. And John says, vamos, Sheffield Wednesday. Certainly indeed, they are the side that have had certainly the better of it, because Leeds have been the better side by far and certainly had the better of the possession and the chances. But at this minute in time, it's still the scoreline that prevails, and at the minute it is still goalless, so nothing between the sides in terms of that. Here's Jamal Lowe. He's got a brick of the ball here in behind. Could they smash and grab it? Still a bit early to be saying things like that, but Jamal Lowe's worked it into the box. Brown tries to lay it off. Here's a shot on the volley. Good save by Darlow. Still alive. Lowe. Oh, it's dribbling over the line. It's cleared off the line, but it's gone in. Sheffield Wednesday are snatching it here. Terrible defending from Leeds United. Carl Darlow lets it slip from his hands, and it dribbles over the goal line. You can see it as clear as day. Leeds United, they've been all over Sheffield Wednesday. But that's what great defending gets you. A lucky break in the final third. And we said about the breakaway for Sheffield Wednesday. Again, they do really well. Brown holds it up well. It's a shot on the volley from distance that forces Darlow to make the parry wide. It's kept alive by Jamal Lowe round the back. He does really, really well, the captain. Does really, really well. Darlow makes the parry. Lowe cuts it back across. And then Darlow should make the catch. He's an experienced goalkeeper. This should be easy work for him. He tries to catch it, a bit ping pong between his legs, and then as Byram tries to clear it off the line, it's already crossed the goal line. Goal line technology says so, and Sheffield Wednesday are looking to cause a shocker here tonight. 1-0 up against Leeds United, who have been all over them tonight, but it is Sheffield Wednesday who take the lead. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds United 0. Oh my goodness me. Well, I told you about the worry for Leeds. The worry that really this could come back to haunt them, in the fact that they haven't been good enough in the final third. And at the minute, Sheffield Wednesday, I said about it, smash and grab. Well, this would be the ultimate smash and grab if they do it. By the way, they're making some changes here, Sheffield Wednesday. The man who fired the ball back in Jamal Lowe, who's had the armband tonight, he's come off and he's been replaced by Ike Ugbo, and also coming off George Brown, who was also involved in that goal in the build-up. He's been replaced by William Granger. So Granger and Ugbo on for Lowe and Brown for Sheffield Wednesday. And what a game this is going to turn out to be. If it stays as it is, this will be a result and a half for Sheffield Wednesday. Okafor trying to avert that danger and gets a corner for Leeds. They want to respond quickly. It's good defending on that side by Emery, the substitute for Wednesday. And a bit of defending to do, but they've defended so resolutely all night for the last 65 minutes. And let's see if they've got it in their locker to do it for another 25 at least. Wednesday ahead. Leeds with a corner, left-hand side. Harrison's delivery all the way through. Round the back, Nonto catched it all wrong. And it goes well wide. It was a nice opportunity. Fell to Willie Nonto. He tried to hit it on the volley. Absolutely sent it flying wide. Not one of his best. Still going in those two 7:30 games. A lot of added time. There's 8 minutes of added time at Cambridge, and at Wolves there is 6 minutes, so they should be finished any second now. But could there be a late goal to change factors there? It's unlikely. Doncaster now 2 goals up against 10-man Accrington, so that red card certainly changed the game there. Ben Close with the second, and they've got a bit of headroom now, Doncaster away there. Still all the same in all of the other grounds at the moment. Still a lot of finely poised ties at this moment in time. But one of the night that I'm certainly going to keep an eye on is Stoke against Bradford. What a result it would be if Bradford can pull off a second scalping of a championship side in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup. Wonderful result it would be there. The 3-0 away at Stoke at this minute in time. Right, a quarter of this game to go. And what does Daniel Farker and his team do now? What do they need to do? Of course, obvious it's score. But they've had all the possession, all the chances, all the opportunities. And it's them who trail. It's the cruel nature of football sometimes, when you are the better team, when you're on top for so long. But when you don't take your chances and when you don't score goals, you will be punished. Leeds now need to find a way of making sure that this isn't a punishment. And it turns out they go through. Here's Okafor, good shot, save well. Here's Nonto with another shot, save well again from Horvath. 2 great saves. That's better from Leeds, but again, great goalkeeping from Ethan Horvath. Here's Okafor. Goes for the early cross, cleared away. There's a bit more positivity for Leeds United. Here's Willie Nonto. Down the right side, whips the ball into the box, it's bobbling around. It's not fully cleared away. It's brought down by Harrison. Flicks it around the corner, trying to get a link up with Okafor. He couldn't quite return it to his teammate. He does find Gruev, and Leeds will recycle once more. Bernal wanting a bit more energy to the crowd behind that goal. They might get a response of it here. Here's Nonto. Lays it round the corner, overlapping as Sam Byram. Delivery into the box. Again over the head of Calvert-Lewin. Okafor couldn't make much of it as it's cleared away. Here's Harrison. He'll lift it in, but no one round the back. It will find its way towards Nonto. Cuts inside Johnson. Has to go backwards, Willie Nonto, as there was no path through there for him. Again, it's as it has been for the last 68 minutes. One-way traffic, but at the minute, this Sheffield Wednesday defence just doesn't seem like it can be punished. It can be penetrated. It can be stopped tonight. The defending has been fabulous. And the goalkeeper's had to make a few claims. Most recently, a couple of claims. And that incredible bit of defending sees Wednesday win a throw on that far side. See this again, lovely little through ball by, I think maybe Peru. Plays that through ball It was. Lovely little through ball. Okafor has a shot first time. Good save by Horvath. Then it's parried out to Willie Gnonto. He has a shot from inside the box. And again, saved by Ethan Horvath. Wonderful bits of goalkeeping in the last few minutes to keep Sheffield Wednesday well in this game and leading at this moment in time. Right, goals from around the grounds. It's all over at Molineux. Wolves have won. So West Ham have had a torrid start to the season. 3 defeats in all competitions in their first 3 games of the season. Wolves are through. Their first goals of the season have come tonight, all 3 of them tonight, and they have won 3-2. Here's Gnonto. Good block. As Wednesday clear it away again, just over 20 minutes to go. All happening at the minute. Let's head round the grounds. Quick. Where did I see a goal? Southampton 3-0 up away at Norwich now. Another goal. Karu Matsuki has given them an even further advantage on their lead now for the Saints. They are most certainly heading through to round 3 now. Norwich, no way back for them. It is 3-0 to Southampton. It would be some comeback, but it is very unlikely at this stage. Preston still 2-2 with Wrexham. Sunderland looking like they were going out to League One opposition in Huddersfield. Castledown with a goal in the first half, but a man who they've signed on loan from Chelsea, Mark Gui, has come on and scored. He has equalised. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1. So we're back square there. Remember, any game that is level after 90 minutes will head to penalties. All of those 7.45s are edging closer to the final whistle, all inside the final 10 to 15 minutes of those games. At the minute, Wigan have taken the lead against Stockport County. They are ahead now. Fraser Murray with a goal has put Wigan in front tonight, and they don't want to be caught out. Still going between Cambridge and Charlton. We'll wait on the final whistle coming in that one, but it has still not found its way to the referee's mouth at the minute. But they are leading by 2 goals, Cambridge, and it will be almost impossible for Charlton to find a way back. Right, back here. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds. There's going to be a yellow card handed out here to the defender. Is that? Who is that? It's Rio Shipston, yeah. Shipston has been given a yellow card for a pullback on Joel Piroux. And that is going to get Leeds a free kick. So Shipston in the book. And this could be a chance for Leeds with less than 20 minutes to go. They're 1-0 down away at Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup second round. They've made some more changes. Anton Stack has come onto the field along with Jayden Bogle in the last few minutes. Sam Byram and Ilya Gruyev replacing, being the coming off for those two. And Stack and Harrison over this free kick to Leeds, about 25 yards out, slightly to the right of goal. Let's see what they can produce. They need something to try and get them back into this game, Leeds. Harrison, left-footed, hits the wall, which stands tall. Back to Harrison it goes. Body still in the box here for Leeds. Cannot get the cross in, but will get a bounce to the ball that will break for him. Harrison, out wide to Gnonto. Can they find a way through here, Leeds? Gnonto's delivery is far too heavy. It will be kept alive by Okafor on the left here. Longstaff. Stack. Out wide it goes. Here to Bogle. Down the right-hand side is Willie Gnonto. Steps inside, rolls it in behind for Bogle, but too much on it. Although it's going to be pulled back for a foul on Willie Gnonto, as he let the ball go there, and that's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Right, quick recap of around the grounds. There's been a red card. Charlton down to 10, but it's a bit of nothing at this late stage. Doncaster have just scored, or they've just disallowed that. It's 2-0. They had the ball in the back of the net there, Doncaster, but it's still only 2-0 in that one. But they're surely going through. Barnsley 2-1 up against Rotherham in the dying embers. Port Vale are still leading. League One Port Vale are still 1 up against Championship Birmingham. Minutes to go there. Brentford 2 up away at Bournemouth with minutes to go. Bromley 1, Wycombe 1. That will be heading to penalties as it stands. Burnley 1, Derby 1. That will be heading to penalties as it stands, but 6 minutes to go in that one. Lincoln have taken the lead away at Burton with minutes to go. Cardiff 3 up at Cheltenham. We'll get to the rest in a moment. Leeds free kick. Left-footed into the box, round the back. Horvath has to punch it. Oh, he's a little bit loose here as he's caught the rebound down. And Horvath with calm hands. Right, full time. Cambridge 3, Charlton 1. So Cambridge are through. Charlton are out. Sheffield Wednesday making the runner behind here, but a move needed to be done. Checks up, maybe a handball shout there. But that's good defending there by Sean Longstaff, just about dealing with that situation. Cardiff 3, Cheltenham 0, sorry, apologies. Millwall have doubled their lead now against Coventry, so it looks like the Den is bouncing there this evening. 2-0 to Millwall against Coventry in that All Championship tie. Cameron Grant has got the goal there. 2-0 to Millwall. Norwich 3-0 down at home against Southampton. Preston 2, Wrexham 2 will be heading to penalties as it stands. Bradford 3-0 away at Stoke. Surely that's done and dusted. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1. Swansea 1, Plymouth 1. Wigan 1, Stockport County 0. And of course here, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds United 0. So Wolves, Cambridge and Reading are all through to round 3. They were all early kickoffs. We'll round up all of the rest when the final scores come into us, and we'll give you a full recap of who's through, who's out, and what it means when we conclude this evening. And when we have the final score from this game, remember, any game that is level after 90 minutes will head to penalties. 15 here to go, and Wednesday lead by a goal to 0. Long throw from the right side, bouncing down, it's not cleared away by Okafor this time, but it's bounced around to the edge of the box, and they're in again. Good challenge in there by a Leeds defender. I think it's Biyol that makes the challenge, and that's going to be a Leeds free kick as he was fouled in the process on that occasion. Got to say, after tonight, I'm going to have to take a breath. I'm going to have to sit and have a bit of oxygen tonight, because of how fast I was talking there, I've maybe given myself a bit of a light head. But a lot of games still right in the balance, and is getting intriguing towards the end. A lot of penalty shootouts could be on the cards here in the dying embers of this one. Flick ball over the top here for Leeds. Here's Piroux in behind. Piroux across. It's Calvert-Lewin sailed over his head. Calvert-Lewin was in. Too high from Piroux. Okafor wins the throw in though. Down this left side. Harrison. Leeds have no time for let off here. They need to move in quickly. Harrison tried the cross, blocked out for the corner, or is it a throw-in? One of the two, but Sequeira there was in the way of that from Jack Harrison. It will be a great job if Sheffield Wednesday could pull off a result against Leeds. They do have a corner, by the way. Leeds. Stack is over to take it then. Anton Stack goes short. Back to Harrison. We have a goal to tell you about in one of the other games. Here's a chance for Leeds, and the header from Calvert-Lewin is wide. You see this again. Good delivery in from Stack off the left side, and then it's Calvert-Lewin. I think he's kind of spinning away from goal. He's trying to get up to win the header, and as he flicks it on and spins, it is gone well wide of the right post. We have a goal to tell you about at Deepdale. We talked about this game being end-to-end and all over the place between these two, and nothing to separate them. Preston led, Wrexham equalised. Preston took the lead again, Wrexham equalised. But there's a fifth goal, but it's not followed that trend. Wrexham have taken the lead. Kiefer Moore with a goal inside 90 minutes, or right on the verge of 90 here, has given Wrexham the first lead in the 92nd minute for the very first time tonight. There is 5 added minutes, so Preston have 3 minutes to try and rescue this game to penalties, but it looks like Wrexham are going to have a late comeback against Preston to knock them out of the cup. It is Preston who are trailing 3-2 at home with minutes remaining. We'll keep you right up to date with what has happened there. Doncaster have beaten Accrington Stanley by 2-0. That's a final score in that one. Bournemouth down to 10 now against Brentford, but they're already 2 goals down, so they are going to be heading out, it seems, there. Bournemouth down to 10. I'm not too sure who got that red card. I'll tell you in a moment when I have the details. But of course, the headline maker at the minute would be Birmingham, Port Vale. Port Vale looking to knock them out. That is the case as it stands. Lincoln have knocked Burton out. That's a final score at this minute in time, as well as other ones. Julian Araujo, by the way, the defender for Bournemouth, has been shown a red card, so he's off, but Brentford already 2 to the good in that game, so they are seemingly going to be cruising. Right, Sheffield Wednesday are going to make a change here, and that man Barry Bannon is going to be joining us very shortly. But here come Leeds. Bogle, heavy touch, has to force it inside touch, and now try to force it through for Stack. Longstaff, now Piroux. Leeds are desperate now to try and find a leveller to get them back into this game. Here's Harrison with a shot. Really lazy and desperate again. And there's going to be a free kick here to Leeds as Ugbo handled the ball. By accident, but it's a handball nonetheless. 11 minutes to go. Nonto trying to poke it through for Bogle. Couldn't find either Bogle or Stack. And Sheffield Wednesday are trying to break up the fields. Not getting the break of the ball there. Biyol doing well and keeping Leeds in possession. Ben says that Leeds are falling apart again. It's not looking good for them at the moment. They're trying their hardest, but at the minute, to no avail against a incredibly rigid, incredibly stubborn Sheffield Wednesday defence here this evening. Break down the right-hand side for Leeds. Bogle breaks past his man. He's still going. Breaks into the box here. Can he find a teammate in the middle? There's many a few. Here's Willie Nonto. Back to Bogle. Can he squeeze it? Nonto again is still alive. Somehow they've gotten out of the way. And here's Jaden Bogle across. He found it from the narrow angle. And Leeds United are back in the game. 1-2 between Nonto and Bogle. And it is Bogle from a near impossible angle that has levelled this game for Leeds United. Incredible. Fight and fight and fight all night to no avail. But on the 81st minute, it is Jaden Bogle, the right back, linking it with Willie Nonto for, it seems like, about 20-30 seconds in the box. They cannot, for the death of them, get it cleared, Sheffield Wednesday. And it breaks in behind for Nonto. Flag stays down. And from a near impossible angle inside the 6-yard box, he finds a way past Ethan Horvath and gets Leeds United back on terms. Lovely little reverse ball. And right through the legs of Horvath, who was throwing himself at it. And Leeds United are back in the game. Maybe they aren't falling apart again. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds United 1. And it is Jaden Bogle with the goal. That is giving Leeds the leveller. And a bit of a lifeline here in Yorkshire. In Sheffield. Here this evening at Hillsborough. 1-1. It was 1-1 at Turf Moor minutes ago. But it was the Premier League side Burnley who were being held by Championship Derby. But no more. Oliver Son has come onto the pitch. The 24-year-old Peruvian has given Burnley the lead for the second time tonight. Burnley rescued late in that one. It is 2-1 to Burnley with mere minutes, if not seconds, remaining in that one. It looks like Burnley are going to be scraping through here this evening. Cardiff are through against Cheltenham. Southampton away at Norwich are through. And Wrexham have done it. They were 2-1 down, 1-0 down. They were behind twice. But for the very first time in the night they took the lead. That has seen them over the line. Kiefer Moore with a late goal. Wrexham are through. Bradford have got a second scalping in as many rounds of the Carabao Cup. Knocked out Blackburn in round 1. They've knocked out Stoke away in round 2. Brentford winners away at Bournemouth. 2 wins and 2 in his last 2 for Keith Andrews after that dismal defeat to Nottingham Forest on Matchday 1 of the Premier League. It is now 2-2 for Brentford. And a clean sheet as well in both of those games. Wonderful for Brentford. They're through to round 3, as well as Wigan, a 1-0 win away at home, to Stockport County this evening as well. Here come Leeds again. Another shot from distance. That was Bogle again. He got 1. He wasn't going to get 2 on that occasion. And a long-range effort went a long way over the bar. Right, so final score in a lot of our games, but it is going to penalties in a few of those. It's going to penalties at the Swansea.com Stadium. It's finished 1-1 between Swansea and Plymouth. Penalties it is there. It's penalties as well at Bromley. Remember, Bromley and Ipswich drew 1-1 in the first round, and they went to penalties, and Ipswich lost. Wycombe Wanderers are going to have to face that same fate, it seems, here tonight against Bromley at home. A penalty shootout has gonna come, and it is 1-1. It's finished there, so penalties for Bromley and Wycombe. It looks like it might head the same way between Sunderland and Huddersfield unless something changes late in that one. There's 12 added minutes. They played 8 of those, so there's still 4 minutes to go before a penalty shootout could be decided there, and Millwall just waiting on the final whistle there. They're 2 to the good against Coventry with minutes remaining after their 7:45 kickoff was delayed. So we will round up all the scores very, very shortly for you. Burnley, that game has concluded. Burnley 2, Derby County 1. So Derby are out by the very slimmest of margins on that one, but Burnley's late added time winner has sent them through to round 3. So the Premier League side survive against lower league opposition. Right, 5.5 minutes to go, and it might just not be plain sailing here for Leeds United tonight. They are still held by Sheffield Wednesday. They've equalised not long ago through Jayden Bogle. Can they take the lead before the final whistle and scrape through, or will Sheffield Wednesday hold them to possibly penalties here at Hillsborough this evening? Remember, Sheffield Wednesday fans boycotting this game tonight in protest against their ownership, and they are, at this minute in time, 5 minutes away, plus additional time, from possibly getting Leeds all the way to penalties. Remember, no extra time, of course. It's going to be a stoppage here at the minute. There's a Sheffield Wednesday player down at the moment. And then maybe a little bit of cramp there. I think it might be Johnson that's down. A reminder for you of what's to come tomorrow. Grimsby against Man United is our second of our 2 Carabao Cup second round action for you tomorrow night. And following that, we will have the Carabao Cup third round draw. Kickoff is tomorrow at 8, and the draw is around about 10:30 tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that one. The third round, as I said, will be played across 2 match weeks. The 15th, the match week beginning the 15th of September, and the week also beginning the 22nd of September. Across those 2 weeks, the 24 ties in round 3 will be played. Of course, all of the Premier League sides will join us in round 3. All of the top sides, your Liverpools, your Arsenals, your Chelseas, all of those Premier League sides that are involved in European competitions this year, they will all be joining us in round 3. And they will be all in the hat for tomorrow night's game. Or tomorrow night's draw, apologies. Here comes Dan James, who's on the pitch for Noah Okafor. He came on not too long ago. He's won a free kick out of Johnson, who's okay back to his feet. And Leeds on the attack again, winning another free kick through Dan James. A goal at the Den. Could it be a comeback for Coventry on the cards? They've got a goal back against Millwall. So that second goal looking very crucial now. Can Millwall hang on, or are Coventry going to be a blockbuster ending there? Hadji Wright with the goal. They scored 7 at the weekend against QPR Coventry. They're losing at the moment, but they've got back into the game, it seems, with not long left. Can Leeds take the lead here from this set piece? Stack over it. Right footed. Round the back post it comes, headed back across goal. Still bouncing around. Is it hooked away by a Sheffield Wednesday defender? And it's not an easy one for Bogle to deal with, and he does well to bring it down under pressure there, but a little bit awkward at times on that occasion. The 9 Premier League sides that are involved in European competitions, by the way, will all join us in round 3. I was trying to figure out the figure for you, and we will have 16 games in round 3, 32 clubs involved, 23 games here in round 2. 19 tonight, 4 tomorrow. Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday want to be the name in the hat for round 3, but at the minute we're no closer to seeing which of these two will be in the hat tomorrow night. Remember, 2 minutes to go, 1-1. If we end at 1-1 after 90 minutes, penalties will come. Try and find a winner. Dan James's cross was just too high and over to the roof of the nets. Right, penalties underway at both Bromley and at Plymouth. At Swansea, sorry, against Plymouth. Quickly to the Bromley penalty shootout. Both penalties have been scored by the two teams, so it's 1-1 after a penalty apiece. Boyd Muntz and Cheek are the two scorers there from the penalties at Swansea and Plymouth. The same is correct. Both have scored their first penalties in that one. Keep you right up to date with those penalty shootouts as and when they conclude. Welcome in, Sam. Thank you very much for joining us. Joining us late here this evening in the dying embers of all of these games. A couple of penalty shootouts underway, and it might be penalties needed here if it stays as it is here between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds. Sheffield Wednesday took the lead in the second half when Cardarlo couldn't keep out of his own net with the sheer ferocity of the cross from Jamal Lowe. He palmed it into his own goal, and then Jayden Bogle has got the equaliser in the 81st minute for Leeds to level things. But they're pushing for a winner now, the Premier League side. But they've been pushing for a goal all night, and it took them 81 minutes to find it. They don't have 81 minutes to find a second goal, I can tell you that for nothing. But they're trying to push with a right on the verge of 90. We'll see how long will be added on as they win a free kick again. Johnson fouling Dan James. And a free kick and a yellow card coming out for the defender there, Sheffield Wednesday. And a free kick for Leeds United right on 90 minutes here. It was Reece Johnson that's got that yellow card. And we will have 5 added minutes. 5 minutes. Can they survive for just 5 more minutes? Or can Leeds snatch it? Stack with the ball in. It's Calvert-Lewin! Oh, what a golden opportunity. He's put it wide. I mean, he had it on a plate for him. It was a 3-course meal for him. Right there, ready to finish it. And he pokes it wide. Connects with his shin. That's why he doesn't get a connection clean. It hits off his left shin and goes well wide of the post. That was far too close for comfort for Sheffield Wednesday. And Daniel Farke cannot believe what he's just seen from his new striker. He's poked it wide with his shin. And that is a golden opportunity right on a plate for a very experienced striker. And he couldn't take it. Still 1-1. Is that the bit of luck that Sheffield Wednesday need after what has been a exclusively defensive night for them here at Hillsborough? Bogle arrows it in behind for Dan James. Across, blocked. Worked by Sean Longstaff to keep it alive at the edge of the box. Here's Harrison breaking into the box now. Lots of Sheffield Wednesday shirts in the way. Here's Nonto trying to work an angle. He's giving it away cheaply. And Wednesday were attempting a breakaway there, but they weren't getting very far. Defence is the key point at the minute. Leeds want that second. They're desperate for it, but at the minute, they're not looking like finding it. There's only 3 minutes of the 5 remain. Ball flicked over the top down the right channel. And Barry Bannon, as calm and as cool as anybody on the pitch, ushers that one out for a goal kick. Quick update from the penalty shootouts elsewhere. It has finished. Millwall 2, Coventry City 1. So that's 7 goals that Coventry put past QPR. Might have just hampered them tonight, maybe. A little bit. They've lost away at Millwall by 2-1 in that one. To the penalty shootout at Bromley and Wickham. 4 penalties apiece. 3 scored, 1 missed by both teams. It's 3-all. It's Wickham that went first. So it's Wickham that score. And it means it's a must score for Bromley. But if they both score or one of them miss, then it's all over. So it is crucial there. In the penalty shootout between Swansea and Plymouth, Swansea lead 4-3 with 4 penalties apiece. It means Plymouth have to score their 5th penalty. Otherwise, they are out. They're out anyway, because I think Swansea have scored their 5th. They took the one, so they've scored all 5, Swansea. So Plymouth are out. Swansea are through. Plymouth are out. 5 out of 5 penalties for Swansea. They are through. It's all scoring of penalties at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1 and it's finished. Premier League side against League 1. Could that be an upset on the cards? It's penalties to come. Here comes Willie Nunto for Leeds. Here's a chance. What a save by Horvath. Unbelievable save. Sliding out. Calvert-Lewin again was there, but he couldn't again find a way past Ethan Horvath to get his first Leeds United goal. What a save by the Wednesday keeper. He's made some big claims tonight and denied Leeds on more than one occasion, and that could be his most crucial. Less than a minute to go. Penalties beckoning here at Hillsborough. Can Leeds snatch it, or will Wednesday's endeavour hang on? Well, Jan James leaves it. Horvath didn't get there. Oh, it's cleared off the line and away. And Calvert-Lewin again was trying it, but he couldn't do it. And Wednesday get a throw in. My goodness me. All over the place here. Ball in behind. It's a nice ball over the top for Dan James. He gets it, flicks it across. It was going towards Calvert-Lewin. Horvath can't really make much of a claim to it. He gets something to it. And then it comes off the defender. And it goes from Weaver, who pumps it away and has to clear it away from danger. My goodness me, that was close. There's not much time left, if any at all. And I think we might be going to penalties here. How long will the referee add on to the 5? Be-all goes back to Carl Darlow. Is there one last chance in this game? Darlow trying to kick it forward. The 5 minutes are up. The whistles going from the very few Wednesday fans inside this stadium. And they've won a throw-in. The home side. Surely that should be enough to see them to penalties. Surely now. Surely indeed. Henrik Pedersen says, surely that's it. The long throw comes up the line, and there it is. The final whistle goes, and the Championship side have held off Leeds United. It finishes 1-1 in 90 minutes, but that sets up a cracking penalty shootout. Leeds United had an early exit from the competition last season in round 1, and at their first time of asking, they need a penalty shootout win to make sure that doesn't happen this season. After 90 minutes, it's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds United 1. We'll be back for penalties in just a few minutes. Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and battered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to LFS Carabao Cup Live after 90 minutes here this evening at Hillsborough. It is finished 1-1 between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds. Carl Darlow palming into his own net to give Sheffield Wednesday the lead, but it was the visitors levelling through Jaden Bogle that has got us to this point. Penalty shootout, and the referee doing the coin toss. Barry Bannon and Joel Piroux to take the toss. Bannon won the toss and says that he wants to go to the opposite side of the Leeds fans. Peru and Bannon, they're doing the toss to see who goes first then. Wednesday have won it. And Wednesday want to go first. So it is Sheffield Wednesday have won both tosses. They're going first and they're going at the end, of which where the Leeds fans do not reside. The Leeds fans are the opposite end behind the other goal. Right. So it is all on the cards then here. A penalty shootout in round 2 of the Carabao Cup. Championship Sheffield Wednesday against Premier League Leeds United. There's another penalty shootout taking place between a Premier League side and a League One side. Sunderland against Huddersfield. By the way, Wickham knocked out Bromley out on penalties, 5-4 on penalties there, and Swansea winners 5-3 over Plymouth on shootout as well. So 2 penalty shootouts to come, one here and one at the Stadium of Light, which 2 Premier League sides are on the line here. Their progression is in the balance. It comes down to Carl Darlow and Ethan Horvath. One did have very little to do all night and conceded. One had a very lot to do. Made some great saves, Ethan Horvath, and he was will hope, that he can make some saves in this shootout. It's Barry Bannon to step up first for Wednesday, who wanted to go first. He won the toss, and you always want to go first on a shootout, surely. And it's Barry Bannon, the captain, who stayed to endure and to try and help this team through all of the turmoils of what they've been through. What a night this would be if they could get this done over Leeds. Barry Bannon up against Carl Darlow to kick off the penalty shootout here. Barry Bannon finds the net. That's a lovely penalty. Darlow dived to his right and Bannon put it into the bottom corner in the opposite side. 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday after one penalty. It's a really coolly, really beautifully taken penalty. Really accurate as well. And this is why you take the penalties first, because if you score the first one, all the pressure is on the other team to respond every single time. Ethan Horvath has made some great saves tonight. Joel Pirou's not had much of the goal to see. Here he steps up for Leeds to try and level in the shootout. Joel Pirou, saved by Horvath. Another great save from another great moment for that keeper. The Wednesday keeper has been on top tonight, and he's made another top save to deny Leeds United again. Joel Pirou, first penalty, goes to the right hand side. Keeper dived the right way, good height for him, and he makes a great save. That is his 7th save of the night, 6 in the 90 minutes, and the first penalty for Leeds has been saved. Wednesday to try and take a 2-goal lead. It is Ugbo to step up next. Ike Ugbo for Sheffield Wednesday to take a 2-goal lead in the shootout. Ugbo scores! Darlow dives the wrong way again, and it's 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. After 3 penalties, Wednesday 2 from 2, Leeds 0 out of 1. It's a great penalty. Again, high into the right corner. No chance for Carl Darlow. Would have been a struggle even if he did dive the right way. Well, here's a man who missed 2 golden opportunities in the 90 minutes to score for Leeds. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. When they need him the most, can he step up and get his first goal for Leeds United in a penalty shootout? Oh, well, Ethan Horvath pulled off a great save again. Calvert-Lewin, he scattered over the bar. Oh my goodness me. I mean, what is going on there? He didn't even get it anywhere near the target, Calvert-Lewin. He's having a stinker of a night on his Leeds debut. And they've missed their first 2 penalties, Leeds. It has got to this point where Leeds United are in dire straits in this game. Wednesday 2-0 up after 2 penalties apiece. The Championship side might just get the brick of their luck here. Can they take it 3-0 to mean that Leeds have to score all of their final 3 to make it 3-0? Here's a chance, and he scored it! 3-0. This is all on Leeds now. Liam Palmer that scored that one for Wednesday. That's two. All three of their substitutes have all scored for Wednesday, by the way, in their 3 penalties. So fresh legs important. It is now a must score for Sean Longstaff. Miss and Leeds are out. They're already leaving in that away end. They already think it's over. Sean Longstaff would make a confirmation if he misses this. Ethan Horvath saves, and it is all over. What a performance from the Championship side. All the turmoil off the field. A horrible summer they've had. A horrible start to the season. Their fans boycotted this game tonight in protest of the owners. Well, on the field, they did everything right. Ethan Horvath was an absolute hero. Saved 2 penalties. The other one was skied over the bar. He made some great saves in the 90 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday deservedly through to round 3 of the Carabao Cup. Leeds United, they had all the dominance of the game. But when you don't score, you're always at the risk of a cup set. And tonight, their keeper palmed it in. He was useless in the penalty shootout, Carl Darlow. Nowhere near it. The penalties were great from Sheffield Wednesday. Quite the opposite from Leeds. And in the end, it is Sheffield Wednesday who prevail. And the first Premier League side to be dumped out of this competition is Leeds United. For the second successive season, they're out of this competition at the very first time of asking. And that is a dismal start for them. They're out of the cup once again. But Sheffield Wednesday, what a performance. What a result. They more than deserved it. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The shootout is still going at the Stadium of Light. 9 penalties scored, or 9 penalties taken, all 9 scored. Huddersfield went first, so it is now must score for Sunderland. They must score the next penalty to make it 5-5 to go to sudden death. We're just about to watch it happen here live. I'm going to tell you what happens. It is the number 23 for Sunderland that is stepping up. This is a must-score penalty. Jensen Silt for Sunderland. Score, and it's sudden death. Miss, and he scored it. Scored it. Sudden death at the Stadium of Light. 5-5 after 10 penalties. What a shootout that is. And sudden death it is there. We'll keep with this shootout at the moment because this is one of the games we were keeping a very close eye on tonight, just to make sure. 5-5 in this shootout, and it's sudden death. The next team to miss is going to go out, surely. Now it's back to Huddersfield again. Can't quite see who it is, but stepping up to make it 6-5 to Huddersfield to keep the scoring ratio going. What a penalty! These are some quality penalties. It's 6-5 to Huddersfield. And it is Basumu that scored that one. And it is 6-5. I mean, my goodness me, what a shootout this is. So it's 6-5 to Huddersfield. Remember, League One Huddersfield held Premier League Sunderland at the Stadium of Light by a 1-1 after 90 minutes. Penalty shootout here. 6-5. Must score now for Sunderland. Number 30 is Milan Aleksic. Miss, and they're out. Scoring continues. He's missed it. And Sunderland are out of the Carabao Cup. And League One Huddersfield have done the job on them. Their travelling fans are celebrating just like Sheffield Wednesday fans in their scalping. 2 Premier League sides out of the competition tonight. Leeds out against Sheffield Wednesday on penalties, and Sunderland are out at home against League One Huddersfield after a penalty shootout. 6-5. It is finished there. My goodness gracious me. Fabulous. That's why we love the competition. That's why we love it. That is exactly why we love it. Because these types of things can happen. And on the night, it is the 2 lower league opposition that knock out Premier League opposition. Sunderland and Leeds are out via penalty shootouts. Huddersfield of League One, Sheffield Wednesday of the Championship. have knocked those two out. Right, let's get a roundup of all of the scores from tonight's games. 19 games to bring you up to date. I do remember you telling me earlier on. I do indeed. Right, let's bring you up to date with all 19 ties and how they end. These are the 10 we've selected, but let's bring you up to date with all of them. Reading saw off Wimbledon by 2-1 and a 7 o'clock kickoff. Cambridge beat off Charlton. League 1 Cambridge against Championship Charlton. 3-1 winners were Cambridge there in that one. At Wolves in that All Premier League tie. It was a ding-dong battle, but it was Jørgen Strand Larsen with a brace in the last few minutes that meant it was Wolves that were heading through to round 3. West Ham, 3 defeats from 3 to start the season for Graham Potter in all competitions. Pressure building. Accrington Stanley's red card late in that one. Josh Woods with a second yellow saw them down to 10, and it was the decider really. Doncaster went on to score 2 goals to go through. It finished Accrington 0, Doncaster 2. Barnsley 2-1 winners at home against Rotherham. 2 goals in the second half finished their comeback against Rotherham. A big shocker at St Andrews as well. Birmingham City of the Championship knocked out by League 1 Port Vale. Port Vale scoring the only goal of the game in the first half to knock out Birmingham City. Brentford winners away from home. Second defeat for Keith Andrews in charge. 2 wins out of 3 to start the season for Brentford. Back-to-back to wins and clean sheets for the Irish manager. Carvalho and Thiago with the goals against eventually 10-man Bournemouth in that one, who are knocked out without a whimper. Bromley thought they were going to do it all over again. They knocked out Ipswich in round 1. They brought Wickham all the way to penalties again, but in the end they lost at 5-4 after 7 penalties taken. Both sides missed 2 of their first 5, and in the end, in sudden death, it was Bromley who would blink first. Bromley out on penalties. Burnley needed a late goal to beat Derby in that one. 91st minute winner saw the Premier League side see off Championship opposition. It was too close for comfort for Lincoln as they beat Burton Albion by a goal to 0 late in that one. An 89th minute winner saw Lincoln head through. Cardiff made easy work ultimately of Cheltenham. 3 goals on the night for them, 2 inside 32 minutes for Cardiff, and the third was the icing on the top of the cake for Cardiff City, who are through to round 3. As are Millwall in that all championship battle there at the Den. Coventry City, who scored 7 against QPR at the weekends, but only 1 they could muster tonight, and it was after they went 2-0 down. Millwall cruising through, and Alex Neil's side doing a very good job. Hadji Wright from the penalty spot made it a closer game than it really was in the end, and Millwall win by 2-1. Comfortable in the on the road for Southampton against Norwich, who had got to the third round in the last few seasons, but not this season. 3-0 winners were Southampton on the road there. Archer, Fraser and Matsuki with the 3 goals to mean it's a comfortable victory for the Saints away at Carrow Road. It was blockbuster, it was Hollywood, it was all you wanted between Preston and Wrexham again in a 5-goal thriller. 3 of those came in the first half, and at half-time, Preston were leading 2-1. You thought they were going to get through, but in the second half, Wrexham had other plans. A late winner from Kiefer Moore in the 92nd minute meant it was Wrexham heading through to round 3. And Bradford City, what a result for them. Back-to-back League Cup scalpings for them. Away at Blackburn in round 1, winners 2-1. In round 2, they went to Stoke of the Championship and again said, yeah, we'll make easy work of you. 3-0 winners on the night, Bradford City. 2 up inside 31 minutes. Incredible performance from the League 1 side, beating Championship opposition. Speaking of League 1 sides beating higher up opponents, Sunderland beaten on penalties by Huddersfield tonight. 1-1 after 90 minutes, and they scored all of their penalties in the first 5. It was 10 out of 10. Huddersfield stepped up, scored their 6th penalty, the 11th of the shootout, but it was Sunderland who blinked first. A missed penalty by Alexic meant Sunderland were knocked out. Premier League side out of the competition. Swansea City were victorious on a penalty shootout against Plymouth. A bit closer than they would have wanted. The Championship side against the side who are winless in League 1 are Plymouth. both goals coming in the first half. It went all the way to penalties, and in the end, it was Plymouth's second penalty that ultimately decided their result. They only got to 4 because Swansea scored all of their 5, and with them missing one of their first 4, they were out 5-3 in the shootout. Wigan needed just 1 goal to see off Stockport County. It came in the 84th minute from Fraser Murray, and Wigan head through to round 3. And Sheffield Wednesday of the Championship, as I said about all the conversation, all of the drama with them over this summer and at the start of the season, they make ultimately incredible defending from them tonight against Premier League Leeds United, and they more than deserved it. Carl Darlow with the own goal, giving Sheffield Wednesday the lead. Jayden Bogle, from a near impossible angle, was the only thing to beat Ethan Horvath on the night, because he made 6 saves in 90 minutes, Horvath, and he made 2 saves in the shootout. Incredible. And Sheffield Wednesday won 3-0 in the shootouts. Right, that is our Tuesday action all done and dusted. 19 ties decided. A recap of who's going through to round 3 for you. Reading, Cambridge, Wolves, Doncaster, Barnsley, Port Vale, Brentford, Wycombe, Burnley, Lincoln, Cardiff, Millwall, Southampton, Wrexham, Bradford, Huddersfield, Swansea, Wigan, and Sheffield Wednesday. 19 down, 4 still to come. And join us tomorrow night for a live watch-along commentary at Blundell Park as Grimsby Town host Manchester United. Man United have won this competition 6 times in their history, but they start in round 2 for the first time in quite a long time. We'll see how they can progress, if they can progress, and join their Premier League neighbours in Manchester City in round 3 tomorrow, 8 o'clock on LFS. And remember, the draw for round 3 follows after that game, around about 10:30 approximately, but we can't really tell you that at the minute, but around about that time tomorrow night, around about 24 hours time, we'll have that draw for you. We'll have full details of all 16 ties for round 3 when we get them to you tomorrow evening. That is it from us this evening. It has been a great evening, certainly for a cup upset. A couple of them: League One, Huddersfield knocking out Sunderland, and of course in our game, Championship, Sheffield Wednesday, who are almost teetering on relegation in the Championship early in the season in the bottom 3, are against Leeds United, and they overcame them. Ethan Horvath, the hero, 8 saves overall and 2 in the shootout. Good night.